Stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
We've seen it all. Recessions, tornadoes, even a global pandemic. But Hug Chevrolet GMC never closed its doors. We stuck with our community because they stuck with us. And through it all, one thing never changed: our commitment to serve, support, and stay local. Hug Chevrolet GMC, built to last, just like the people we serve.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be in the low to mid-90s. Mainly clear skies, mid-60s overnight. Friday, blue skies, sunshine, a high near 95. And then Saturday, lots of sun, a high in the middle to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair. From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
Experience at Walmart on Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. It's our second time that we are here. I am sitting next to Matt Jones at the Sports Center desk. Forgot to bring my pajama bottoms today, Matt. Unfortunately,
you look good though, man. You look good.
I'm not doing a highlight show today. We'll just do halftime instead.
It was traffic was pretty smooth coming up here. Had the work car to drive up here today, but of course there wasn't gas in it, so you got to stop and get gas and do whatever. But man, that work ESPN car, that's pretty sweet.
It's a nice ride to be taking up 49
nice
today.
Rig right there, man. It was perfect. It was a real smooth drive up.
Well, and so I start setting up here, and I'm the first one in this room. How they've got that gate that's going to make sure that nobody can get in here, and then realize that the lock is unlocked, so I can come in, set stuff up. Nothing's in here. They start coming in to clean everything up with all of the memorabilia, the Darren McFadden Heisman runner-up trophy. That I think that wasn't there when we were here last time. That must be Jordan Weber's leotard from the Olympics. That's super. And still have the Peyton Hillis and McFadden jerseys and all of these basketballs and footballs on the ESPN wall. Then they turn on the televisions, these 4 televisions, and we got the McAfee show. We've got whatever golf tournament is taking place right now, a James Madison Louisville football replay. And then there's something I've never seen before. That is, Matt sits down. He's all excited. Oh, my gosh, look, they've got soccer on TV.
Well, I noticed Spain. At first, I know there's Spain's playing. Spain's a top 5, soccer country in the entire planet. And then I'm glad to see your Quanes doing good. If you're playing Euro Beach soccer,
yeah,
probably you're okay over in that country, huh?
Yeah, they are playing beach soccer, which I've never seen before. Matt, they play this game barefooted. You can't wear any socks. I would imagine you could at least wear flip-flops while
you ever
you're playing.
Worked out in sand and tried to run and do all that? How much harder it is and on your body to plan and do that. You can't run. It's
better develop those foot muscles.
Golly, they kick like a horse.
They really do. Well, I guess that'll be on throughout the What do you got? 5-4, Spain leading Ukraine, a minute 13 left. Like, do they play quarters?
I've never seen this before.
I have no idea what this is.
I have never seen this before.
I'd like to see
I've never
stand
seen
football.
a soccer game where they count down. They always count up. They're counting down on the clock right now.
This isn't the real sport then.
Can't be real.
Can we have this is a league. I mean, look, there's a beach volleyball league. We have beach volleyball there's an NCAA championship now. It's in the Olympics. When are we doing sand football? Have you played? Now, you played lots of football. Have you played barefoot sand football?
Yeah. Did you see Rajon Rondo was doing some? Did you see that?
He's like the best flag football quarterback in the world right now, or one of them. Is he going to be leading the American squad?
Probably not. I need a 24-year-old. I love some Rajon Rondo, but maybe a little bit. I need maybe you get a little quarterback from maybe from Louisville or James Madison, but I need a college kid that's about 23, 24.
It's not going to be Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
I don't know if you're the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, there's 0% chance that Patty Mahomes is going to be playing flag football.
Flag football. At least you can wear shoes, though, because if you're playing sand football, it's no shoes. Got to be barefoot, 100%. I don't want a 24-year-old running my country's team. I want a 35-year-old former NBA All-Star point guard.
I mean, I'm in for it, but I'm telling you, when your prime athletic age is not 35 retired NBA All-Star, it's more 20. You got to be Michael Vick out there. It's not really about throwing. You throw people open a little bit, but it's about elusiveness.
Yeah.
You got to be a scat back, a Fred Talley. Like that's what you got to be.
Oh, speaking of quarterbacks. We got a little intrigue on who's going to be a quarterback for Ole Miss on Saturday, Matt. Maybe that's one of the reasons why this line is now down to 7. It's down to 7 now. It was 7.5 yesterday. It's down to 7 points. I think it was double digits when the week started, something like 11 points. And I think part of it is, I think in a lot of people's eyes, that maybe Arkansas is better than some folks thought they were. And then you're not quite sure who the quarterback's going to be for Ole Miss. Is it going to be the redshirt junior Austin Simmons sitting behind Jackson Dart for a couple of years, or is it going to be Trinidad Chambliss, who has won 2 national titles at Division II for Ferris State? He was a backup 1 year last year. He was their dude. He was their guy. So somebody that knows – you talk about how important it is to know how to win games.
A lot of reps.
It is Division II, but it's a lot of reps, and it's a lot of pressure-filled reps too.
Yeah, a lot of winning a national title in any level is pretty cool. We've seen some Division II athletes come to our school, and I mean, think of Tesla. Isaac Tesla, a D2 athlete, comes to the U of A, and then ends up Armstrong's an All-American. Tesla's a third-round pick. So there's talent to be found there.
Well, in either way, you're gonna get a quarterback who is, I think, better running the football than throwing it right now. And with Chambliss, you could end up seeing a wildcat formation. Sam was talking about that earlier in the week, and I heard Brett Norsworthy on the Morning Rush today. Brett hosts the pregame show for the Ole Miss radio network, and I don't know if he's got like inside info on this or anything, because Simmons hasn't practiced this week, according to some guys who have inside info that cover Ole Miss football. Jake Thompson is one of them with Rebel Grove. Chase Parham is another one that they've got inside info. Simmons hasn't practiced.
A lot of coaches feel. I think Coach Cal might even be that if we remember right. But I think Coach Muss was that way too. If you don't practice, you're not playing. You got to be able to practice and show me something. Is KJ the last guy that we've had that didn't practice? And you saw the first game when he didn't practice for all week. He played fine. But then about week 3 when he not practicing, then it's kind of catches up with you. So if you don't practice, some coaches won't play you.
See, I wonder about how Talon was able to practice last year, because they're still talking about how hurt he was. Hey, he was hurt when they played Ole Miss in November last year. It was the last 7 weeks after the Tennessee game? So I don't know if he was fully practicing at 100%, but I don't think he was sitting practice out like KJ wasn't. I forget what year it was or what game it was leading up to it. But maybe it'd be different in some situations if it's a quarterback that's run your offense for a couple of years, right? If it's Jackson Dart, who hadn't practiced for 3 days and then maybe can get on the field Thursday, maybe. But that's a guy that had a full grasp of the offense. And I'm sure Simmons has a grasp of it because he's been backing up the last 2 years and might know it in and out. But it hadn't necessarily played its way out on the field. But then on the other hand, it's not like this Trinidad Chambliss has that full grasp of the offense. But it does seem like that they're both really dual threats, be really difficult to bring down. And you may end up seeing both of them anyway. So we do know, and I still think either way, the Hogs have the edge at that position. And a healthy Taylor Green, completely healthy Taylor Green. Because one thing that Sam pointed out, heck, I mean, I know isn't that kind of odd? You play against an FCS team, and there was some pressure at times. Even took a sack that, we thought would have knocked you out of field goal range last year, didn't knock you out this season. And then in the game against Arkansas State, the supposed step up in competition, which I think it was, Taylor wasn't even touched. Like, there was no pressure on him at all, never got pressured, never had to evade, any kind of blitz or the pocket collapsing. Anytime that he went down or was touched, it was because, well, he might have initiated the contact. So you're getting Taylor Green, not only a better quarterback than last year, but much healthier than he was when you faced this Ole Miss team.
Yeah, it helps when your knee bends the right way. So
my knee has never bent in the wrong direction.
Well, the thing that you'll say is we don't know how good this Arkansas team is because we just saw the two teams we played. What I do like is, what else did you want to see? I mean, is there like, you think the last couple years, the first 2 weeks, you're like, oh, it's kind of tough. Oh, we got to do that. We did everything about the way you wanted to see a team do. The receivers got open, caught passes. The defense improved drastically from week 1 to week 2. Flew around. We've been getting turnovers. I guess the one thing you got to cut down once you get into conference play, no dumb penalties. We understand that there's going to be penalties, but that can't be part of your identity. And then you can't throw 2 interceptions in a game. That's just it's not a recipe for success in the SEC.
You know how you're
especially on the road. You go throw two interceptions on the road, It's tough to win.
Yeah, you're looking at some of the things you need to improve upon right now, and you're talking about what's happened these past 2 weeks, in which the Hogs have outscored their opponents 108-21, and that's legitimate that you've got these concerns because you've played no SEC teams yet. Ole Miss has that. They've played on the road at Kentucky. They survived 2 interceptions on the road, by the way, too, in that game. It doesn't matter about any of that other stuff. Final score is all that matters in this game, right? Like, you knew you were going to beat A&M. You knew you were going to beat Arkansas State. You just wanted to see a certain margin of victory and then pick it apart from there. Does anything matter other than just beating Ole Miss and just moving on to Memphis? I mean, the things you're talking about are factors as to whether or not you're going to win that game or not. But it ain't going to be like a 54-10.5 final score, which is basically the average of these first 2 weeks.
I think it'll come down. It'll be less than 10 points. Whatever team wins this game, they're not going to go out and win by 21. I agree with you.
That's like every game that these teams have played until last year.
It's going to be a single possession type of game, and as long as you can keep it that way, and hey, if you can get a turnover early, you got a quarterback that hasn't taken a lot of reps yet, even though he's won a national title, or you get Simmons who hasn't practiced all week. Mm-hmm. So you find a way to disrupt him. And one of the things as a defensive coordinator we always had, if it was Bobby Allen, if it was John Thompson, if we knew their quarterback was hurt, man, we're going to pressure him early and try to hit him. Let's try to hit him early and see how healthy he really is.
Yeah, Sam definitely hit on that of trying to make him really uncomfortable early. But I do have a sense that it's the Ole Miss front seven, really the front four.
We got to protect our guy too. You're exactly right. This is going to be the best defense that we've played all year.
Here's what's halftime on this Thursday, and of course you can come out and visit us today at the ESPN Experience at Walmart on Mall Avenue. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. John Calipari is here tomorrow. He is signing tomorrow from 5 until 6. So line up tomorrow whenever you think you got to be one of the first 100 people so that you can meet and greet and get an autograph from the head coach of Arkansas men's basketball, John Calipari. That is tomorrow when he will be here at Walmart on Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. But we're here today up until 2 o'clock, and today we'll be joined by Brett Dolan at 1:15. Got head coach Dave Van Horn from Arkansas baseball on the phone with us about an hour from now. And we'll talk with Dudley Dawson about 20 minutes or so. So if you want to get on with us, the Lewis Automotive Hotline is open for you at the moment, 877-377-6963. Back in just a minute. This is halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
We're talking with legendary Arkansas running back Felix Jones here on the Morning Rush. You could hoop a little bit back in the day, couldn't you?
Man, I tried, yeah. That was actually my first kind of love in sports. And my dad was playing, and then grow it tall enough. So we had to go other places, and I took all the ability I had from each and every sport to take the football, and it seemed to work perfectly.
This is the Morning Rush, weekdays from 9 to 11, only on ESPN 95.3.
And no one's going to get Felix Jones.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hey, Ty Richardson. We're here at Shangri-La Resort, Mount Ida, Arkansas, here with my buddy Phil Carr. Phil, it's football season. I know you're hustling and bustling. You're trying to watch games. You're trying to keep up here. Man, this really is the perfect time to come see us at Shangri-La, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great time. The lake's not quite as busy. We're still open 7 days a week. It's just a great time. You can enjoy the games, you can enjoy the food, and enjoy the lake a little more because there's less people out.
Phil, what do we always say about Shangri-La Resort?
Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Ida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
The Big Ten is up, and the deals are hot at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Save 50% off on casual and hunting clothing for men, women, and children. Get ready to hunt with big savings on ground blinds, chairs, feeders, archery targets, and so much more. Check out the new deer blinds during the Jelco Outdoors Fall Hunting and Tent Sale, now through Saturday. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavor soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
The Crane Automotive Team has 16 locations across Arkansas and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team service centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Check them out at craneteam.com. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive Team.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Moving just behind the bridge, he lays her down. It rounds to my life's a funny way. Am I still too young? He kissed the there, she took his ring, his babies. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. No, she'd have taken anything.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Sam Pittman pointed it out yesterday. An interesting little similarity with Arkansas and Ole Miss. It's just 2 games, so there's probably other teams that have the same numbers. But they have rushed for the exact amount of yards per game. How about that? 257 yards. 257.5 for Ole Miss. 257.5 for Arkansas. And according to Sam, they also run the ball in a similar way.
They are a downhill team. If they want to get outside, they're going to throw it. Now, they do have runs that go outside, but those outside runs are 1 to 9. They want to run at you. You know, that's kind of our forte offensively too, is running at you. And then, you know, if we want to hit a home run, a lot of times we'll go outside like we did the other night with Mike. I think whoever has the most rushing yards will win the game.
Whoever has the most rushing yards will win the game. I mean, it seems like a pretty simplistic idea, and for the most part, that is the case when these two teams meet. And I wonder if it's a matter of who can establish it first, and if there is a big run to be had on the outside. You know, and when it comes to Ole Miss, Matt, they're mostly one running back. Now, they got some others, but Kellen Lacey carried 28 times last week against Kentucky. But I think they were game planning for a different style of game. Are you really worried about Kentucky getting into the 30s against you? Probably not. I think if you're Arkansas, if you're Ole Miss and you're playing against the Razorbacks, you're probably, I don't know, worried isn't the right word, but an understanding that Arkansas is a better offense, so they're going to have to score more often. I'd be surprised if Lacey carries it 28 times, because there's a lot of zeros and ones and twos and even negative yardage in that. And for the Hogs, Matt, I mean, they just have a more varied group of running backs it feels like they trust.
Well, I don't know this backup quarterback. Is he a scrambler? Is he a dual threat guy? You know, what was his yardage in Division II? So the thing that if you have to spy on a quarterback, sometimes it kind of hurts you in your run fit. But if you don't have to, that's going to be very important, because week 1, I don't think we didn't, our run fits weren't that great. And it's week 1, so you get better. Week 2, they flew around, and I thought their run fits were a lot better. So if you can continue that way, we'll be okay.
Now, you know, it's understood Simmons can run, but I also think that the guy's a pitcher too, so I mean he can throw it a little bit. 33 of 55 in the first 2 games, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 576 yards. You got a quarterback here out of Ferris State, the Division II guy. That's Trinidad Chambliss. Last year, 61.5% completion, 195 yards per game, 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he ran the ball a lot.
Okay.
171 rushes, over 1,000 yards, 6 yards per carry, and scored 25 rushing touchdowns, also 5 fumbles. So, I mean, look, between his passing and his running, Matt, he combined for 51 touchdowns last year for Ferris State in 15 games.
Man, that's getting it done right there. That's man, I don't want to stay at Ferris State and go win another one, you know, instead of be a backup. But maybe you never know. He could get in and set the world on fire. He could get in, and we could pop him one good time, and he maybe he never gets comfortable. So I bet I'd have to imagine that if you're on scholarship at Ole Miss, you're probably pretty good. You probably pretty good at your job. So I think he'll be. It's kind of like, what was that 2 years ago when the Texas A&M third baseman had got hurt and was going to miss, and you're like, yeah, the backup third baseman at A&M, he's probably pretty good too. You know, like I bet the backup quarterback at Ole Miss is good. I mean, we saw our backup quarterback at Arkansas take him down 99 yards against A-State like it was nothing. Our backup quarterback's pretty good.
Chambliss, you got to think there's all this intrigue about it. And I don't know, that means you're game planning for 2 quarterbacks. Ole Miss is game planning for only 1. I don't know if that means much in this. But you know, looking at the rest of this Ole Miss roster, you know, there's a running back who's carried 9 times. Deuce Alexander's son plays here. He's a junior. He's carried 5 times.
Deuce McAllister or Deuce Alexander?
Deuce Alexander. Oh, I'm getting them mixed up. and Damian Taylor carried 10 times. So Lacey's their guy. Came out of Mizzou, backed up Schrader last year, and is now a hoss. 13 of his carries last week went for 3 yards or less, not counting a 1-yard touchdown. That's out of 28 carries. 13 of them went
over half of them went for over 3 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he had runs of 33, 28, 15, and 11. So it's going to definitely be pretty dangerous. And
I think it'd be important, too, how we eliminate the explosive play. Think about last year's game with Ole Miss. Think about what Lane Kiffin likes to do. They love to have explosive plays. They were throwing it all over the park, 63-yard touchdown, 64-yard touchdown, 28-yard run. We're going to have to eliminate the explosive plays, especially when you go on the road. That'll get them into it. That'll give them some momentum. So you want to keep everything in front of you, unlike last year when we just kept giving up bomb, touchdown, bomb, touchdown.
Jackson Dart and Austin Simmons last year, Matt, combined for 28 completions on 34 attempts. That's in one game.
Your defense is anemic right there. There's no calories in that diet soda. You had no substance in that defense. It was one of the worst defensive. It was the worst defensive performance of the year last year. And if you just want to be candid about it, it was the absolute worst defensive performance last year.
Hogs got penalized 10 times in the game, lost a couple of fumbles. It was terrible. And I heard Lane Kiffin mention this on the teleconference yesterday, and boy, was he right about this.
I do think, though, the game was an example of just every play went our way, every call, every ball was almost perfectly thrown. So it was just really one of those games that every once in a while happens, where kind of every break went our way.
Yeah, and it's not usually like that. I mean, it was you had a Patriots Falcons Super Bowl score pretty much 20 minutes into the game, 28-3. There's no coming back from that.
There's no Tom Brady.
That's right. Nothing against Taylor Green and Sam Pittman, but you didn't have Tom Brady and Bill Belichick there to try to figure out a way to get you back from that. Oh, and an opponent that kept calling passes too, right? Because they did keep calling passes, Matt. They just kept throwing bomb after bomb after bomb.
Man, you could have just started kneeling on the ball and putting back to him there for a little bit if you were Atlanta. I mean, that's, sometimes it'll make you sick. That right there will make you sick, how the Atlanta Falcons lost that Super Bowl.
Well, and it made you sick last year, because that Ole Miss game, it just tasted terrible. And a couple weeks later, you get the same treatment from LSU in a different way. And it was that realization, because that was right after the win against Mississippi State. It was that realization. They're like, all right, maybe we'll get a bowl game this year. It'll be a 6-win bowl game then in that case, because those were the 2 worst losses of the season. You gave Texas a tough game. You actually slowed them down offensively in ways that other teams did not. But Ole Miss, for all the explosiveness too, for as well as you played against Texas last year, that's how poorly they played against Ole Miss.
And that LSU game was a little bit different. It seemed like we were kind of in that one early on, and then it kind of got away from us late. But yeah, that's. Well,
I remember that game. You're thinking, well, they watched the Ole Miss tape. They know they can get behind the Arkansas defense. It turned out short pass.
They were Chad Pennington all day. That's right.
877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Upgrade your Razorback closet at Roback.com. They have custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for Razorback fans at RHOBACK.com, and you can get 20% off your first order using the code RUSH25 at checkout. Roback.com. Hoodies, joggers, and much more. Roback, where action meets comfort. We talk with Dudley Dawson right after this break on Halftime.
Man, I love y'all, man. I'm telling you, y'all really help me. Y'all get me through the day every day.
This is Halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18-month same-as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
63. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Live at the ESPN Experience at Walmart in Fayetteville on Mall Avenue. Halftime continues, and we go right to our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Dudley Dawson joining us, veteran journalist covering Arkansas athletics for over 3 decades now. And Dudley, how are you on this Thursday?
Doing good. Looking forward to a legitimate football game.
A legitimate football game. That's right.
That's a good way to put it, Dudley.
That's the perfect way to put it. So that means that there's nothing to pick apart afterwards other than just a final score, right?
Well, we can don't you think we can trust our eyes after this one? We kind of get a little bit lost watching these first 2 games.
Yeah, I do. I'm not denigrating Arkansas State in any way. I think Butch Jones has done a really good job over there, but it just was not. They were undermanned to play Arkansas last week, and I think these are 2 teams that are coming up this Saturday that are pretty evenly matched. Certainly got mobile quarterbacks. If Austin Simmons is good to go, and I liked what I saw of the running game last week. So both of them should be ready to play, and I'm picking Ole Miss because it's at Ole Miss. But if it was here, then I think I'd be picking Arkansas.
How do you think the Hogs are going to handle a little bit of adversity? We have had 0 so far this year, but and I'm not saying we're going to all of a sudden we're going to be down 14 points, but something's going to happen in the game where it's going to kind of change. How do you think the Hogs will respond?
Well, I think that we're going to find out as we go, but I do think there are enough veterans on this team, even though they may not have been here at Arkansas, that have seen some adversity, have played in games, and have rallied seasons at different spots. What I am interested in is to see, just how the first quarter goes. It has been Ole Miss has been able to win their 2 games, but they've not been really good at all in the first quarter. Their numbers on offense and defense have been much better from quarters 2 to 4. Arkansas has kind of been the different way. Arkansas has had good starts. So I'm thinking this first quarter is going to be a key in terms of how this football game is going to end up.
Well, and usually these games are close, but in the only 2 games that we haven't seen, I guess, in the last, 15 years or so that really weren't close, you could tell by the time the first quarter was over who the winner was. You remember, the Hogs literally ran all over Ole Miss in the 2022 season, I think it was.
Their only night game. It was cold out there.
Right,
yeah.
and then last year it was ugly quickly, Dudley. So, nobody expects that, but then I'm not sure people expected that last year, the year the Hogs did it to Ole Miss either.
Yeah, and I don't dislike Lane Kiffin as much as some people do. I do think he ran it up last year, but I've always been of the philosophy that you're supposed to stop them from scoring no matter what point it is in the game. So, it's always been an entertaining series, that's for sure, and we've got a lot of great memories from that, and including the Hunter Heave going to the late great Alex Collins, and so I'm looking forward to something I probably haven't seen on Saturday night, because that seems to be in this football game all the time.
So Coach Pittman usually wins 1 road game a year if you just look at his years here. If not here, Dudley, because I think this might be his best chance to win a road game this year. If not here, where do you see Arkansas's road win coming this year?
Well, I would have said Mississippi State, but Jeff Levy and them got up and beat Arizona State last weekend, so maybe cautionary there. But that would have been the one I would have thought going into the year. And there's for some reason in the back of my mind, I'm seeing the Arkansas-Missouri game at the end of the year maybe being different. I may be wrong. Certainly wouldn't bet on it. I might bet y'all's houses, but not mine. It's just, sooner or later that's got to flip a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, let's see. So we get Mississippi State, Missouri at home. Here's our road games: at Tennessee, at LSU, at Texas, and at Ole Miss.
All 100,000-seat stadiums except for
no easy. There's not one easy win right there.
Yeah, but if my bad for that. But I'll take this one then.
I like
this one.
I like it.
I'm not sold on them. So,
who out of the receivers, 17 has really caught my eyes. The kid that transferred from Florida State. I think he's been a couple of different spots. Omega Blake looks big. as well. Who's some of the skill position guys? Because Taylor Green, I think, has been the best player on the field the first 2 games, as he should be. Who else has kind of caught your eye a little bit?
Well, I think Mike Washington is ready for a big breakout. This may be his signature game this weekend. They've used him in some situations, but it's my understanding that there are a lot more packages that involve him getting the ball, either being handed off to him or out of the backfield. And going back and doing a research on a story for him for the Best of Arkansas Sports, talks to a lot of his high school guys, his college coaches before he got here, and they all think that he's primed and ready to have the big season and maybe have I guess what they would call a contract year. So that's the guy I'm looking forward to having a big game this upcoming night. And also, I like what I saw the tight end last week. He finally got a couple of passes and got into the end zone.
Well, what kind of a run mix do you expect? Because
60-40, you think, or
between the running backs and even Green and even Taylor. Yeah. Washington. I'm expecting 15 to 18
carries. That's
Taylor, and you don't know because there may be pressure and he's forced to run.
Well, you're reading the options sometimes, so you don't know who's going to get it. And the way I kind of look at it now too, and I know we talk touches. Even if it's a screen game, we haven't seen a screen pass yet. We haven't seen any type of trick play. We haven't seen any type of wheel route that we're going to see in the red zone. I think this is the game you'll see some of that.
I do too, and I do think that Washington's going to get the most touches. I think there are different situations for the other two guys that they can be optimal in. But I think that you're looking even though I think he's got great speed for his size, I think you're looking for tough running inside from Braylon, and then kind of a what do they call it? A change of pace with Rodney Hill.
Well, what about this situation with Austin Simmons? Basically not practicing, from what we're hearing or reading from journalists like yourself, Dudley, that have their contacts within the Ole Miss football program. And the thought is you don't practice at least for the first 3 days, you're probably not going to play. Division II champion Trinidad Chambliss is the backup, and I wonder if the offense changes all that much if depending on who's behind center.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of Ole Miss people this week trying to get an idea on that, and they're not sure he's going to play. They're going to do everything they can to get him ready to play, but they're not sure about it. It was apparently more of an injury than it appeared at the first part there. And yes, they do have an interesting backup. I don't think that the offenses will the offense philosophy will change too much, but yeah, I'm interested to see if he shows up. Of course, I'm also interested to see if Luke Haas is going to play.
Yeah.
If Jalen Braxton's going to play, and Patrick Kudus is going to play, which all adds some narratives to this story that where Arkansas has been kind of a minor league farm team for a few guys for Ole Miss.
Okay, so I want to ask you a couple questions around the SEC. Florida's coach. You look at that schedule, does he make it through the end of the season?
I like Billy Napier, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah.
He's what's going to happen in this 4-game stretch is he's got to go 3-1. I think if he's 2-2, it's not going to get much better the rest of the year. And they're just looking for something down there. They were looking for something last year, and he up and surprised them and came strong at the end of the year, so they had to keep him on. But I think that here's my deal. If you lose early and you're already on the hot seat, now it's an inferno.
I want to ask you also about A&M and Notre Dame. Mike Elko, that defense. You got this is Notre Dame's second game. I wonder if Marcel Reed's healthy. If he is, I like Texas A&M in this one. Maybe a little payback too. Notre Dame got him last year. Any chance? How do you see that game going with A&M and the Fighting Irish?
Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that one as well. And goodness gracious, that's a nice little tough beginning for Notre Dame there.
Right.
Kudos to them for playing those teams, and obviously coming here into Arkansas in a couple of weeks. I am not sold on Notre Dame yet. We'll see. I may regret my words from that, but I just didn't get the warm and fuzzies. 2 weeks ago watching them play, and they've got a lot of great individual players, but they had some NFL guys last year that really got them to the finish line.
I think a game to be really interesting. I mean, anybody's going to want to watch it, but if you're a Razorback fan and you're looking ahead of the Tennessee game, is this Tennessee-Georgia game in Knoxville, and the thought is that Tennessee is better offensively with Joey Aguilar instead of Nico Iamaleava. And, I mean, still Georgia's defense still is really stout, and they play UAB and Mississippi State before they play Arkansas, so I think this will be their toughest test before the Hogs go into Knoxville. So, I mean, there's a lot of other games you'd want to watch this weekend. If you're a Razorback fan, I mean, yeah, Georgia-Tennessee may be right under Arkansas-Ole Miss.
Yeah, Georgia has won 8 games in a row until Tennessee beats them. I think I'm going to pick Georgia in that one, and I do think Joey Aguilar has played really well these first 2 games, and they feel like they've got really good quarterback there. He hadn't been throwing interceptions as he did so often as his other spots, and I do believe that Tennessee got the best out of that quarterback trade there.
Yeah, they did. LSU's the only SEC team right now in the top 5. Who do you see in the SEC? I don't know that it's a down year yet. I think we're just kind of getting going, and it would all sort itself out. Who is LSU? Do you think that is the best team in the SEC? And how would you group it? Who would be second and third?
Boy, that's a tough question. But yeah, I'm going to go with LSU has done what it needed to do. They've won both games. They had an impressive win, obviously, in the opener. Going to be looking at them. The other ones seem to be flawed to me, but Alabama bounced back last week. Ty Simpson had a good game. Georgia, I think, is going to be okay. I'm still on the Georgia bandwagon, I think. The second tier to me, South Carolina, I'm really interested to see, how they play this weekend, because they are potentially a really good team that could really vault up the polls, or they're one injury away from being just an okay team.
Let me just go back to the Arkansas-Ole Miss game to wrap this up here. Based on Taylen Green's stats against winning teams and non-winning teams last year, and from what we've seen these first 2 weeks, how much of what you've seen from Taylen Green do you believe?
Do we lose
Dudley?
Oh no, okay. I thought there was going to be another word there. My bad. I think that he's thrown 2 bad passes, which have turned into interceptions, obviously. But I think for the most part, he's making better decisions. Probably the best play I've seen him make all year was getting that first down against Alabama A&M. And I thought he did it. He did it in a way where he didn't get rocked, but he was able to get the ball to the line. That's what I think he's got to do. He's got to stay away from being injured. Even though K.J. Jackson looked really good when he's been in.
Yeah, and that's a good thing that you're getting Ole Miss right now, because Taylen's healthy. This team's healthy. I guess it's the Ole Miss team that a few more questions about. Seeing Has out there be a little bit of a surprise. There was ankle surgery, I guess, a little more than a month ago, but I don't know. That's not like you're rooting against the kid. That'll be super interesting to see just how involved he might be in their offense if he does play.
Yeah, and he's a good kid, and he did what he thought was best for him. I think that all the heat is landing on Mr. Kudus for the whole story with him saying, "Don't play me so we can save my red shirt," and that worked out well for Ole Miss.
Yeah, well, so far we'll see. Dudley, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. We'll talk again next week, okay?
Sounds good.
You got it. Dudley Dawson joining us every Thursday on Halftime. Can open up our Lewis Automotive hotline if you'd like, 877-377-6963. Wood Power Sports and Motor Company, if you're looking for a side-by-side, a motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower, never look any farther than your local Wood Power Sports store in Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville, with all the brands you're thinking of, Suzuki, KTM, Yamaha, just to name 3 of them. Outstanding service and parts capabilities as well. Deliveries, too. You can learn more at woodpowersports.com. Wood Power Sports is a solid name you can trust. Back in a moment, wrapping up hour number 1. This is Halftime.
It's up to them how they want this season to be. If they want to turn it around this week, we can. And if you don't, they better be going to class.
This is Halftime.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with RUSH25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two, with fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's country. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-thru. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
I know when to go out. Stay in. Get things done.
Things don't really take. I'm standing in the way.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Got Razorback baseball coach Dave Van Horn joining us at 12:15. It's 11:15. We already missed it. I would feel really nasty if I'd scheduled Dave for an interview on the show and then forgot to have him called. So, yeah, we'll remember to call in about 20 minutes. You can get some questions in about Arkansas baseball if you want, because fall ball has started, though I should stop calling it fall ball because I don't even go to fall. I don't call football practice in August fall camp. It's still the tail end of summer, right? It hasn't turned to autumn yet, so this isn't fall ball. It's end of summer ball. It's got to be literal about everything, I guess. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Yeah, we'll get a little bit into the baseball schedule with Dave. 12 NCAA tournament teams, an 18-game homestand. There'll be 4. They got a couple of 4-game, not series. One of them is a 4-game series against Stetson, and the other is the first 4 games of the year, all in the first 4 days against 4 different teams. So that's about as different as it gets. And then what? You got your home series, Mississippi State, Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma, South Carolina, Auburn, Alabama, Missouri, and Kentucky. It almost feels like you've been given a bit of a SEC West schedule again. This is what it used to be like when the Hogs were in the SEC West. Annually, you would either travel to Alabama and Auburn, and then the Mississippi schools were in Fayetteville, or you went to the Mississippi schools and the Alabama schools were in Fayetteville. That's what you got this year. You're doing Ole Miss and Mississippi State in Fayetteville, Auburn and Alabama in Alabama. But it's not SEC West because there's no A&M, there's no LSU. And I don't know. I'm not going to call it a weird schedule, but it definitely feels light. Only there are no Omaha teams on the schedule, not one from last year. You get, I think, 3 teams that made it to a super regional. Well, 1 team that made it to a super regional. That's Auburn, and that's it. 3 national seeds that are on the schedule, and 2 of them didn't even make it out of their own home regional. So just based on the numbers from last year, and I think the winning percentage for Arkansas opponents in league play last season was about 42%, which is not good. So not a lot of regular season success, barely any postseason success for the teams that the Hogs have on next year's baseball schedule. So the other thing, too, is the full baseball schedule came out. Now, not every SEC team put the whole thing out. It was the conference that put the conference schedule out. Teams could go from there. The Hog baseball team put the whole thing out. They've got it all planned out. We still don't have a full non-conference schedule for men's or women's basketball, and that starts in less than 2 months. We know what the baseball schedule is, and that doesn't start until February. So I don't know. Make some sense of that if you can.
Well, I know everybody's really been worried about this Perry Farrell and Dave Navarro lawsuit, and there's been another one. It seems like every 2 months.
Yeah, that was like over a year ago that they went after each other on stage.
There's another $10 million lawsuit that's being filed, and there's 35 affirmative defensives that he's claiming are wrong. So, you know what? You want to know what happens when 2 hippies get into an argument? This is what happens when 2 hippie flowers get into an argument. It is absolutely. Do you think they could do Johnny Depp, Amber Heard? Like, I just want to see this in court. And see
the discovery process will be riveting. Well, you can feel bad about that one, but Hall & Oates settled their legal dispute. I don't think they'll be playing any concerts together anytime soon, but they're not at each other's legal throats anymore. So maybe it eventually gets to the same with Porno for Pyros.
Maybe they'll figure it out.
Probably not. We go into hour number 2 of halftime, and we've got a wide-open segment coming up. Lewis Automotive Hotline is 877-377-6963. And, again, it's head coach Dave Van Horn of Arkansas baseball in about 20 minutes. We are back right after this.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus, the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be in the low to mid 90s, mainly clear skies, mid 60s overnight. Friday, blue skies, sunshine, a high near 95. And then Saturday, lots of sun, a high in the middle to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by ColorWorks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at ColorWorks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, actually, if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
.12:01, it's now the afternoon, and welcome back in. Halftime continues live from the ESPN Experience at Walmart on Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. We're here up until 2 o'clock, and some folks have been able to come in and check out the cool sports memorabilia of Darren McFadden, Peyton Hillis, Jordan Weber, and then all of the TV. They don't have sand soccer anymore, Matt. It's no more beach soccer. They put up a second screen of Pat McAfee as if one wasn't enough. But, I can't watch any more beach soccer, which was on for at least the first 20 minutes or so. And, again, we got Dave Van Horn coming up in about 15 minutes. Again, look on Arkansas in late summer ball. And if you got any questions about that, you can text him in at 877-377-6963. But it is college football season. It is NFL season. And this is the first real big weekend of SEC football. And I started looking ahead to Just kind of, because we're in everything in the SEC has got to be compared to the Big Ten now, right? Because these are the two big 800-pound gorillas. There's a light Big Ten schedule this weekend. Really not all that many interesting games when it comes right down to it.
3 Big Ten teams in the top 5, 1 SEC team in the top 5.
It's crazy to think about. 2 weeks into the season, though, I wonder what these polls mean. But I mean, what do you got? Indiana State, UCLA, and New Mexico. Maybe UCLA might win a game here. Oregon, Northwestern. That actually may be the best game of the weekend in the Big Ten. Wisconsin, Alabama. It's going to be ugly for Wisconsin. Nebraska's got an FCS team. Maryland's got an FCS. Penn State's got Villanova. Boy, that would be bad for Penn State if that was basketball. USC Purdue is a conference game too, Matt. 2:30.
Let's go, the Fighting Barry Odoms. Let's go.
2-0-2.
Let's get it.
2-0, and they get the Trojans in West Lafayette. Purdue with wins over Ball State and Southern Illinois. So I guess that's a little bit reverse of like the Razorbacks. They have their group of 5 opponent opening up, then the FCS opponent. Hogs did it the other way around. Rutgers has an FCS. Michigan State's got an FCS. Ohio State plays Ohio. Illinois, Western Michigan, Massachusetts, Iowa. That's actually like an FBS game there. Massachusetts and Iowa. Remember UMass? I think they played 3 SEC schools last year, and of course lost them all. And then Minnesota and California is Big Ten versus ACC. So those are there any really good Big Ten games this weekend?
That's close to my doppelganger over there, but I'm better looking than he is.
Where is your doppelganger?
When you see him, you won't be able to unsee him.
Well, no, Matt, that's a second doppelganger that's been located by us here in the ESPN Experience. There are 2 of them. There's the one guy who actually is like our rep on site here for this ESPN Experience. Remember, he was here the last time. He just hasn't been here today. He was here when I showed up. He's just like you. I think you might be an inch taller. You both go bald up top, all sorts of red hair for your facial hair.
Chandeliers.
Right. And then this guy over here, and I don't know what he's got in his it looks like he's putting in some Pepto-Bismol into a bag, so he's got some indigestion issues too.
I'm not there yet, so.
But that definitely looks like you in about 10 years.
Oh, I'll never have that belly. So
look at the SEC games. Hogs at Rebels, Georgia at Tennessee, Florida at LSU, A&M Notre Dame. I put Wisconsin, Alabama in there. Maybe that's the best Big Ten game. And then Vanderbilt and South Carolina. The games this weekend are so much more compelling in the SEC.
How do we just think? So we're not giving Wisconsin any chance at all to beat Alabama. I don't know. I think there's probably a chance there. I wonder how good Alabama is. That's going to be very interesting. But that Texas A&M Notre Dame. So you got Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M Notre Dame. I think those would be the 2 top games that you're like, okay, I want to watch those 2 teams play. And then Arkansas, Ole Miss. Yeah, you want to watch them play. I don't think any single human outside of the state of Arkansas is giving Arkansas a chance to beat Ole Miss. Any other media outlet out there, not one single person's like, yeah, Arkansas is going to beat Ole Miss.
There's a slight difference on the Bet Saracen line compared to the ESPN line, and it's favored towards Arkansas by 0.5 point differential. So I do think you see a little bit of that there. There's a little bit of that there. There's still some pundits that are looking at this and saying that even some think that Ole Miss might not be ready for what they think may be coming. That the idea would be that I think the idea here is, can the Ole Miss offense keep up with the Arkansas offense? That's kind of where I might be if I'm going to try to look at it from the Razorback perspective, because I do think this offense that Sam and Bobby Petrino have together has the potential to be a real killer. But can you protect Talon in a way that he wasn't protected last year against many of the same players?
And a great point, Phil. And what I would ask is, how many 3-and-outs has this Arkansas offense had the first 2 games? 1?
There's going to be a couple or 3 or 4, right? That's
the thing. You end up having 3 3-and-outs in a row, or you have, you get a first down on the first play, and then it's a 3-and-out. You don't change field position. Some of that this is the best defense this Arkansas team's played. I'm not just putting 42 points on the board like everybody else is for Arkansas. I get it. We played Alabama A&M and Arkansas State, put up some points. I don't necessarily just think all of a sudden we're going to go to Ole Miss and score 42 points.
We haven't had a lot of adversity yet. I think it's just all about the mindset and playing hard and playing together. And when adversity hits, then your leadership takes over, whether it be me, whether it be the team. You want it to be the team. And we really have an older team that understands and believes we can win, but we'll see. If all hell breaks loose, we'll see what we really have.
You remember when adversity hit you last year, and it was from the very start. You fumbled at the goal line, and it was returned for a touchdown, and that was the start of the adversity. And the next thing you knew, basically 10 minutes later, it's 28-3.
It's over.
That's how last year's team responded to that adversity. Now, admittedly, there's some injuries involved in that. It's November. It's a different part of the year. But you have to hope that they'll respond better, and that, hey, maybe not have a fumble at the goal line and don't let the receivers get behind you. And I just think Ole Miss had a much better quarterback last year than they do this year. But the point is well made, because you're facing a defense that there's not a single player that you faced the last 2 weeks that would be on this Ole Miss team, not one. So Mike Washington running for a 66-yard touchdown, you got to wonder, is there somebody on that Ole Miss team that can catch him from behind?
Well, it's about run fit, and it's about can the offensive line get that same amount of an opening that he can slither through. Now, he doesn't need much. Neither one of our running backs need much. You're not going to arm tackle even one of these guys. But what happens if they're able to get something on them, slow them down, then your safety, then your pursuit, then other people are able to stop that from being an explosive play. And I think what you're getting, honestly, I think Josh Heupel's a top 5 coordinator in the SEC, okay? I think Lane Kiffin and Bobby Petrino are top 5 as well. So I do think you're getting 2 of the best offensive coordinators in the conference going after each other. I just wonder whose defense is better. Like how many you say that nobody on the first 2 opponents we played would start for the Ole Miss defense. I agree with you. But how many Arkansas guys could start for the Ole Miss team? That's the other thing. Xavier Story, absolutely. What is there at Neal maybe or something? Is there 1 or 2 other guys? I would say that maybe 1 or 2 guys we have would start for that Ole Miss defense. So I would think their defense is going to be a little better.
Here's an aspect of wondering which defense is better here, and so many more returners from Ole Miss who were productive last year in terms of getting to the quarterback. Ole Miss last year, Matt, was 3rd in the nation. 52 sacks, and they played 1 fewer game than Boise State that led the nation in sacks, and we're off by 3. So I think if you're going sacks per game, Ole Miss led the nation, and they've got almost the entire.
Well, they got 8 against us last year. We give up 8 sacks, we're not winning this game. It's 1 a quarter is the max. If we can't give up more than 4 sacks this game, if you want a chance for us to win.
Both defensive ends, one of the defensive tackles, couple of the linebackers, they're back from that same defense. So, it wasn't just against Arkansas that they got to him, but yes, they averaged 4 sacks a game. They multiplied that by 2 against the Hogs. You're going to need to be under 4 in this game. All right, we'll break in a moment, and Razorback baseball head coach Dave Van Horn will be joining us. First, I want to remind you about the Fence Man. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, the number for the Fence Man is 479-782-3936. They've been serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high-security fences. And if you need automatic gates, the Fence Man does it. Also, they have 18-month financing available. Get your free quote at thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. We'll be talking Arkansas baseball with Dave Van Horn right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me everything here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, college at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot,
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Ty Richardson back in my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizza.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle. Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Times are hard, you're afraid to pay the fee, so you find yourself somebody who can do the job for free. When you need a bit of love, 'cause your man is out of town, that's the time you get me running. You know I'll be around.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Always a good time and appreciate a visit from head coach Dave Van Horn from Arkansas baseball here on a September 11th with end of summer ball kind of coming here. Dave, I have a tough time calling it fall ball because we're not quite at fall yet. Just like I never call fall football practice fall practice. But how's the team look so far?
So far, so good. Haven't had too many injuries. A lot of new players. Pretty much as usual. Not a lot I can really tell you yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you wonder. You'll get a lot of questions about what's this team going to be like next year, and I never know how to answer those questions this time of the year. And I mean, you're getting a look at it too, and you got to be wondering the same questions about yourself. So so far nothing quite answered, but at least they're playing ball, and they got to be happy about that.
Yeah, it's day to day. We're about 10 days in, and it's been good. We've already seen a lot of good things and a lot of things we need to definitely work on. And there's a lot of positions that are open. You think about all the kids we lost off last year's team, and starts on the mound. You lose your rotation, your starting rotation, and lose like 6 starters, 7 starters in the field. So, just wading through it and letting guys show us what they can do, and a lot of coaching.
I've been interested in the way that you were talking about constructing some of the scrimmages into like 3-inning games in a sense, and how important it is for as you're trying to put this starting pitching rotation together behind Gabe Gackle, I would assume that each of these pitchers gets a chance, I guess, to start a game, so to speak, because that's a lot different than coming in relief, even in a scrimmage.
Yeah, so last weekend was our first weekend of scrimmage. Official practice really started last Tuesday, a week ago this past Tuesday. So what we did is we're only throwing each pitcher 1 inning or 20 to 22, 25 pitches max. And if they don't get us out in that number of pitches, we just roll the inning. So, we threw everybody we had last weekend. So the first day we threw 10 pitchers, 5 and 5. We played a 3-inning game, had 2 starters, obviously. Then we took like a 10-minute break, but we had the other 2 starters getting ready. And then they came in and we played a 2-inning game just to make them get a little feel of starting. And then we did the same thing on Saturday. I think we played 4.5 innings because we had 9 pitchers throw. We're not pitching Gabe Gackle this fall at all. We're letting him just rest a little bit, lift, and get strong. Pitched a lot last year, and just giving him a little bit of downtime. And then obviously Wiggins is not pitching yet with the arm surgery that he's coming off of, and little things like that. So that's what we're doing.
I wonder if you're able at fall ball, and maybe at this point of the year it's a little early, to get a sense of a personality of a team. Like people will ask you about, well, they hit for power, do you get speed this year? And sometimes I get a sense that because there's so many new players all coming together, 8 Division I transfers, 1 JUNCO, and 14 freshmen, so there's more newcomers than returners. How long does it take sometimes to get a sense of what a team's personality is like? And do you think you might have even an inkling of what this team's personality may feel like now?
Yeah. We're starting to get an idea of, who can do what. And then also, the personality, like the individual, and then how does it affect the team, and, putting this thing together so they gel. And, it's obviously a work in progress, and it will be, when we finally play another team, I guess in about a month, a couple days in a row, we put one team out there, we'll have a little better feel of how it's going to go. A little later on, in our scrimmages, I'll probably load one team up a few times, but right now I just try to split it pretty even. We do have a lot of freshmen in here, more than we've had in many years. We really like our freshmen. We feel like that they're going to contribute this year. And, modern day Division I baseball, we get those guys to stick around, be pretty good. So, there's still a lot going on.
Tell me how Ryder Helfrich is looking now. Because if I'm thinking about players that are near the top of the list of why Arkansas baseball will be successful next year. You'd mentioned one of them earlier, and he's not pitching right now, and Gabe Gackel. And then Ryder Helfrich is at the top of that list. And, man, he improved so much last year.
Yeah, he was amazing last year, and he's even better now. I mean, he is really, really good player, and on both sides. Whether it's catching, calling a game, hitting for power, he can run. He's what you're looking for. Feel very fortunate to have him in our program because a lot of guys like him are already in AA. So excited he's back, and he's your quarterback, so to speak. Now that we're in football season, he's leading the way, and he's just one of those guys that you like being around because he's that good and he's that fun to be around.
What does it mean for a team when your catcher is as good as Ryder is, and as easy to follow, I think, as a teammate as he is? You've had some great catchers and some really good teams, but I feel like there's something to be said about a team when they might be led by a catcher, because that position is on both ends of the game in ways that other positions are not.
Yeah, to me, if you can have a catcher that is a leader, it is like a major plus. If your leader's playing short or center field, it's good to have somebody in the outfield, especially a center fielder, be a leader. But someone in the infield is good. But man, you got a catcher who's seeing the whole field, and he can command some respect because of the way they play and how hard they work, not just because they like to be in charge, so to speak. It's big for your team. So we feel fortunate, like I said, that he's here and he's the person that he is and the player that he is.
Head coach Dave Van Horn of Arkansas Baseball joining us here in halftime. Coach, we got a question from JT on our text line asking about where Kuhio Aloy may play in the field and how the Cape League may have helped him develop.
Well, it's a good question. The possibility he could be our starting right fielder, and he played right field in the Cape. Obviously, he took a lot of reps in practice last year in right field. He was getting a lot better at it. Then he went to the Cape, was playing there. Then he hurt his hand. He hasn't had one at bat here yet. He's resting that hand. There's nothing broke. It's just some inflammation. So he just basically, and what you see him doing is kind of shagging, but working on reads out there. And that would be ideal if he could be a starting outfielder for us and not just a DH. But we'll see how it all plays out.
I wonder about shortstop in fall right now because, I think the kid's name was Grego from Ball State, but he ended up getting drafted and signing. Souza's shoulder, and you wonder if be ready for the throws and everything. You got maybe a couple freshmen can play that position. Tell me about shortstop right now in fall.
Yeah, we've got some really good young infielders in here that honestly could play short, and then we have a transfer named Pompey that can play short. He played second and third in his 2 years at Texas Tech. His second year, he got injured after like 19 games. He was the starting second baseman. His freshman year, he started as a true freshman at third base, and he's really good at both of those positions. We're working him as short. I mean, he would like to play short. Sousa's been working. He's still doing the ground ball work. He looks outstanding, better than ever. He could play short. The arm bounces back, and then we've actually got a couple freshmen, maybe three, that could play short. Carson Brumbaugh, I mean, he's got a plus arm, really good defender. He also pitches. His first outing, he was sat at 96 for an inning. I think Luke Cornelison is a really, really good player, really good defender as well, can hit. He can play third, short, or second. And then Alexander Peck from Tennessee, really good infielder. He can play all three positions as well. So we're just letting it evolve, but we feel like we have some good candidates. I mean, when the smoke clears, we're just going to play the best guy, maybe two guys until we figure it out, but we'll see.
Do you still enjoy being a head coach as much as you did when you first took over the Arkansas job? The job is so much different, but you still get to coach games and you still get to coach players. And I know the job's a lot different. Yeah. Do you still enjoy it as much?
I probably enjoy it just as much or more. Just, because of some, obviously when I first got here, I had two little girls and they were small and I was missing a lot of things, missing, dance recitals, softball, cheerleading, soccer. I could go on and on and on. And now I don't feel that guilt, so to speak, and a little freed up mentally there. I love being around the players and the coaches. I love coaching baseball. Some of the other stuff that goes with it now is not my favorite, but, you had to make a decision. And I told our staff this like 4 years ago, that if you're not going to get into the way it is, like the NIL and just everything's changing, then, we all need to do something else. And we're all in. And, kids are great. Like I said a few times last year, the kids are still the same. They just want to know that you care about them and that you want to help them get better, and that's what we do around here.
I like how you extended that to the rest of the coaching staff, because all the other coaches, too, it's like their jobs changed. It wasn't just you. It was everybody, right down to, Clay and DJ and what they're doing because of the change in college athletics. So, but one of the interesting things about that, too, Dave, is that it's the exact same staff as when college athletics made this massive change. So they bought in 100%, and based on what we saw last season, they didn't skip a beat. Your program hasn't skipped a beat at all.
No. I mean, obviously, we can sit here and toot our horn, but we've been so consistent, and we've done everything but win the national championship. I mean, we've won more SEC games than any team over the last 7 years by 10 games. And it's been a good run. We want to keep it. And so, for us to keep it, we've got to continue to get the players, and we got to keep coaching them hard and treat them right, make good decisions. So do they. But, now we have to deal with the other side of it financially, and we have to be able to keep up with some of these other schools that, frankly, have a lot more than we do when it comes to the money. And so that's what we spend a lot of time on as coaches, talking to people about that.
Mm-hmm. But have the fundamentals of coaching changed much? Because your teams are always good at those fundamental things, and I know you've been teaching that from way back as a graduate assistant. You were talking to me about the 85 team, your first job as a coach. The job outside of the field has changed so much, but has it really changed on the field very much?
No, not much at all. It's about taking care of the baseball, which means playing catch, fielding the ball. It's about throwing strikes. It's about knowing how to bunt and how to run the bases. And, that's the stuff that I love. I'm so proud of our team. The last 3 years, we fielded like 980 plus, which is, it's hard to field 980 one time in 10 years. But we've been on a little bit of run there. And it's one reason we've won a lot of games. We haven't made a lot of mistakes. And when you do, usually you're going to get beat by a good team. So it's been the X's and O's, so to speak, still the same. Kids are the same. The game's still the same. Just a lot of the outside stuff's different.
All right, I just want to end just on a thought on the schedule that the program released a couple of days ago, along with the rest of the conference and the conference schedule. It's just there is no such thing as an easy schedule in the SEC. People are kind of throwing that word around a little bit, but it is a little bit jarring to see no LSU, no Texas, no Tennessee, no A&M, no Vanderbilt. It's just odd to see none of those teams on the schedule, but you had to expect that maybe you weren't going to see them, right?
If you go back to last year and you look at the way it went down, we played every one that you just mentioned, plus some pretty good ones like Florida. I could go on. We don't have to talk about all that. But for the first time ever, we didn't play Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, Auburn. We play them all this year. And I don't really dive into the social media stuff or all that out there about, Arkansas schedules, this or that. We had the toughest SEC schedule last year by far. I don't think anybody was close. We played all the big boys, and they all had good years for the most part, except A&M, and they were supposed to. But we looked at it. So we kind of talked about it as coaching staff a couple of days ago. Since COVID, since starting the season in 2021 through 25, against Vandy, A&M, Texas, or Tennessee, and LSU, we played 62 games. We've won 41 and lost 21 against those guys.
Wow.
And then you go look at the other schools, say Alabama, Auburn, and those, like, we've struggled against Alabama. Georgia, we're not 500 against them. Most everybody else we are. So people can say what they want to say. It's what I tell the players just about every day. It's really hard to win in the Southeastern Conference. It doesn't matter who you're playing. They're good. You just got to catch them at the right time. But if you play good, you got a chance to win. So, it's interesting that we don't play all of those people in the same year. But at the same time, we did pretty well against those guys since 21. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll calm it down a little bit.
No, that's all great stuff, and it's all true too, Dave. And I could do another 2 hours with you, but we're up against the break, so we'll have to leave it there. Always enjoyed talking with you, no matter what it's about, especially if it's Arkansas baseball. Dave, thanks so much for your time. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, we'll talk with you soon. See you, Phil.
Absolutely. Dave Van Horn, Arkansas baseball coach, 24th year into it as well, joining us on Halftime. If you missed any of that, it will be on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast once the show is concluded. You want to react? We'll open the Lewis Automotive Hotline now, 877-377-6963. Halftime is back right after this.
I just had to call in, man. I don't know how many thousands of hours I've listened to y'all.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro. Like it never even happened.
He looks at his watch, and that's halftime.
This is Halftime.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to make you a morning person. Loading up our omelet biscuit with sausage, ham, and applewood smoked bacon stacked on a fluffy made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Or making a home-style loaded burrito. All that breakfast in a tortilla with crispy hash browns. Good morning, morning person, from Hardee's Country. Download the app and join my rewards for 20% off any breakfast purchase of $10 or more. Registration and minimum $10 purchase required. See app for terms.
Okay, fellas, listen up. We're going to run a 10-9 slant on 2. Ready?
Man, it's hot out here. I sure could use a cheer one.
This isn't the time for that, Baker.
That perfect fizz with just the right cherry kick?
Come on, we got to focus here.
He's right. Nobody does cherry like Cheerwine.
I like mine with tiny ice. Love tiny ice. Cheerwine goes great with barbecue, too.
Listen, we win and I'll buy you guys all the cheer wine you can drink. Deal?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right.
Try the uniquely refreshing cherry flavor of the South. Cheerwine and Diet Cheerwine. Uniquely Southern.
Hey, Hog fans, if you can't be at the game, the next best seat in the house is at Sofa City. They've got this new leather reclining set with heat, massage, surround sound, and even vibration, so you can feel like you're in the middle of all the action. And if you're looking for deals, they've got them. Recliners start at just $298, or you can upgrade your set with a power reclining sofa for only $998. It's all in stock, so you can buy it today and enjoy it tonight. Visit Sofa City near you, Portsmouth, Russellville, Harrison, and Mountain Home. Or see more at sofacityusa.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're hiding your smile because of chipped, stained, or uneven teeth, or you feel like your smile doesn't reflect how you feel inside, our dental team is here to help. We offer a variety of cosmetic and restorative dental services, from custom veneers to full mouth rehabilitation. We take pride in combining clinical precision with an artistic eye to help you feel confident and comfortable every step of the way. It's time to love your smile again. Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to set up your consultation. Let's create the smile you've always wanted.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
5 names that I can hardly stand to hear, including yours and mine, and one more chip who isn't here. I can see the ladies talking how the times are getting hard, and that fearsome excavation on Magnolia Boulevard. Yes, I'm going insane, and I'm laughing in the frozen rain. Well, so honey, when
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We're at the ESPN Experience at Walmart in Fayetteville on Mall Avenue. We'll be talking with Brett Dolan, who I think is going to be joining us actually on site this time, Matt, at about 1:15. Remember Brett drove to the wrong Walmart a couple weeks ago, the one on MLK? Yeah, they don't have an ESPN Experience there. You'll walk in, you'll wonder where Matt and Phil, and you're going to be looking for quite a while. South Florida Temple women's soccer is now on television over here, Matt. It's not beach soccer, but it is soccer of some sort. So you can see the neighborhood that Temple's located in. They don't have a soccer stadium for Temple. It's a little field. They get Oklahoma for football this weekend. Did you see the graphic that Oklahoma football released?
Does any quarterback besides Johnny Manziel, other than this guy you're talking about, live inside of people's minds rent-free better than Baker Mayfield? Like Johnny Manziel, I think, does, but Baker Mayfield lives in a lot of people's minds just rent-free for a long time.
I know, and it's not like Temple's got any history that I know of with Oklahoma, but they did release a graphic trying to be all fired up about the football game, which is in Philadelphia. That's a bit of an oddity. I don't remember if Temple plays all of their home games in the Eagle Stadium. They used to. I don't know if they play at Lincoln Financial Field, but guess what they don't get? They don't get the Eagles crowds. That's bad stuff. And and being from Pittsburgh too, like I'd like to see a school that has a stadium on campus. Makes a lot of sense. You want to play in an NFL stadium, but fans don't end up going as much as they do. So anyway, here's the graphic from Temple football. It says fight, fight, fight for the cherry and white. Isn't that cute? They're cherry and white.
It's like a soda.
And it's the I like soda, and they probably have quite a few of them here in Walmart. There's the Temple Owl standing on this has to be a storm chasing vehicle. All right, so they're turning this into a Twisters thing. But then at the very bottom left of the graphic, apropos of absolutely nothing, is Baker Mayfield's headshot from when he was arrested here in Fayetteville. It's like, and they put it in the bottom where it's just like gradient, so it's kind of fading in and out. You can barely make it out unless you zoom in for it. And the only reason I found this is because somebody else found it, Adam Ford on Fayettevillians, and pointed it out. So you got a little Fayetteville in the Temple University smack-talking graphic, which every team's got to put out now. I don't know if Temple needs to be making fun of anybody else's alumnus.
Well, they'll do like Arkansas State, and then after they take that L, they'll go on a mental health break for a couple weeks.
JT, I am going to Oxford. I'll be headed there tomorrow. Well, actually, the team stays in Tupelo because Oxford's too small. Though I've heard some stories of where Coach Nutt had his team stay for the Ole Miss game. I think it was in some sort of like a, I don't know, the way I've heard it described, it was almost like an abandoned, like a resort of some sort. Do you remember where you stayed for the Ole Miss games on the road?
That would have been after I was there.
Okay.
Coach Nutt, most coaches, you want a 40-minute drive in from the hotel to the stadium.
That's what you get for home games,
That's
too.
what you need. You want a 30, 40. So it gives you a time to focus up, start concentrating on what's at hand. You get to see everything, the accoutrement. You get to see everything, the parade, the bells and whistles, and kind of getting you ready to go. And a lot of times you'll leave in waves. You'll have 2 or 3 buses that'll go about 20, 30 minutes apart. But, yeah, most coaches want to stay a little bit. You want a little bit of a drive in.
I guess it's about that sort of drive to Oxford. I think it's about 45 minutes, if not maybe about an hour. So it's right on there. That's basically your headquarters when you're with the Arkansas football team and they're playing against Ole Miss. But if you're playing the other sports, Oxford is large enough. It's just not large enough for these big football games. No, not enough hotel rooms. But then there's other places like when the team plays at Auburn. I think sometimes they've stayed. I forget the name of the town that's close by. If it's Opelika or if it's actually a little bit farther out of town.
Seemed like the longest conference place we stayed away from the field was Georgia when we played in Athens.
That stay in Atlanta?
I couldn't tell you where we stayed. I know we flew into Atlanta. We didn't fly out of Atlanta, but the logistics of it. But that was a full hour away to get there.
Yeah, but then after the game, it's 3 hours. Because that's not an interstate, and it's
we didn't go back to the Atlanta airport.
No, you flew back from Athens. I think.
We flew back from a different airport.
Yeah, but driving back between Athens and Atlanta after a Bulldogs game is miserable. You have good podcast for it. Yes, I'm ready for Ajax Diner, JT. The only problem is I'm not staying in Oxford, so I'm not going to Oxford for baseball. So no Ajax Diner until next year, which is fine. Because I'm still burping from the meatloaf dinner that I ate during the baseball season there this last season. That's the one thing about I love going to Oxford to eat, but that's food that stays with you for about it's got like a half-life, which only radioactive things have. It stays with you for like 6 months. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline as we get you set for Arkansas versus Ole Miss. Tomorrow, Matt's at Gelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. I'll be headed on my way to Tupelo, so won't be sitting next to you, unfortunately, though, tomorrow, Matt. I'll miss you, though. I'll miss you just a little bit.
I like it when you lie to me. There we go.
I haven't lied to you in a while. I feel like I owed you one.
Yeah, we just start to wonder about things a little bit right
You
there.
okay?
Yeah.
You all right?
How's your neck?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
I was looking at – so we're here at this ESPN desk, and, I remember getting cable – I think I was around 6 years old when we got cable. ESPN was part of it. I was more interested in HBO. And
you had ESPN2, though. That was the
not
thing.
Then.
You didn't have 2? Okay.
No.
Okay.
ESPN2, I think, debuted about 1990 or 91.
Yeah, see, that's what I wouldn't have got cable till then, so I wouldn't have. That would have been about the time that we had it, yeah.
But you wanted the first thing you wanted was your MTV.
We
that
didn't,
was
we
the
didn't
first
get,
thing.
At the Jones family household, there was 0 MTV that was going on. Pops was not having the MTV channel.
Oh, we had our MTV, man. We had our. I got to see my David Bowie videos, my Michael Jackson videos, Van Halen, Madonna, Prince, Huey Lewis and the News, Billy Joel, Billy Idol. Man, some formative years on television.
Yeah.
But I wanted HBO so I could watch all of the reruns of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But then there was this thing over here called ESPN, and it's not like they showed baseball. And back then, that's really all I cared about watching was Major League Baseball and the Pirates. But we had, a cable channel that showed Pirates games. ESPN then didn't show baseball. Heck, the only thing
WGN is what we had with Cubs games.
Yeah. You'd watch the Cubs on WGN,
the White Sox,
the Mets on WOR.
Turner was the Braves.
And Turner with the Braves. Those were the 4 teams. You said White Sox, and yeah, you're right. But like back then, ESPN, that's where I first got introduced to Australian rules football. That's where I got introduced to roller derby. That's where I got introduced to truck pulls and NHRA racing and Denise Austin. Hello.
Body by Jake.
That's right. I mean, it's like they did not show games of the teams that we'd usually be talking about unless it was some college football and college basketball. And that was the thing that really kept ESPN going for years and years. I mean, out of the 85 channels they have, is there a Body by Jake thing? Where's Denise Austin's, where's the person who succeeds her in this? Where's the Australian rules football telecast? I miss these things. I always wanted to be the Australian rules football official because I certainly knew I wasn't athletic enough to play the sport, but I wanted to look sharp. I wanted to have the coat, I wanted to have the hat, and I wanted to do the double point for whatever it is they call it when you score in, I think it's an end zone.
See, I would have been at whatever team my dad was coaching, watching their game film, watching a lot of high school football. The sideline was my babysitter growing up, from age about 5 till 5th grade when I was going to practice with him, So it was that was kind of what we. There wasn't a lot of TV watching at my family at that age.
Ooh, Nickelodeon. I was all about Nickelodeon
Hey,
back
dude.
at that point. No, it was you can't do that on television.
What
Turkey
would you
TV.
do?
Oh, it was
Mark Summers.
It was the remote control show, right? Yeah, Mark Summers. But it was you can't do that on television was the show that everybody you said I don't know. They would slime you. That's where the slime
what would
thing
you
really
do?
started
Yeah.
from. And Moose and Lisa and Kevin Kubicheski.
Saved by the Bell was one of the ones. Talk about Kapowski, Kelly Kapowski, Jesse Spano. AC Slater. What's the AC stand for? Absolutely charming.
Well,
Albert Clifford.
We'll break here in a moment. You can join us live at the ESPN Experience and the Sports Center Live desk. We're here for at least a little more than another hour and back to wrap up hour number 2 in just a moment.
I love Matt, man. He just box office.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric, starting 40, 45 hours a week, anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour, depending on the experience.
Yeah, that's all correct. We offer competitive pay. We have 6 paid major holidays. I'm working on some other benefits to go with those for my current employees and future employees. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's VV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers' low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
If you or a loved one experienced emotional distress due to slow internet 25 years ago,
Taco Bell believes you're entitled to a delicious escape. The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos, 7-layer burrito, caramel apple empanada, and more. All $3 or less. Claim 5 returning faves and relive what you love from the 2000s. You already sub or dial up? Don't wait any longer. Experience Taco Bell's Decades Y2K menu now. At participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price of participation vary. Tax extra.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're struggling with missing teeth or tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures, I want you to know there's a better option. With full arch dental implants, we can create a smile that's strong, secure, and looks completely natural. These aren't traditional dentures. They're fixed in place with implants, so they don't slip or cause pain. You can speak, eat, and smile with confidence like you're used to. I've seen firsthand how life-changing this solution can be for our patients. It's why I love what I do. Give us a call at 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com. Let's rebuild your smile together.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
We're the best in town. If by chance you cross the diamond with the pearl, you turned it on the world. And you turn the world around. Jesus, did you realize you are a champion in their eyes?
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Halftime here at the ESPN Experience at Walmart on Mall Avenue in Fayetteville. We've got to do our SEC Survivor picks. Before we do that, Matt, I just have a quick question for Christian Johnston on the Survivor picks. You picking anybody this week, C-Unit? No, he isn't.
Yeah, if you let me.
We got to change the rules then. We're not changing the rules just for you. We love you, though.
He gets back in whenever Florida wins a game. Whoever, when
is that how it works?
When you pick a team that loses, and so now you're 1-1. Phil and I are 2-0.
So I'm picking Florida this week.
No, you're not picking.
You get Florida until the end of time, until they win a game, then you're back in.
Okay, we're changing rules.
Well,
on the fly. It's okay. You got to keep him involved.
Yeah, that's what we got to keep him involved.
If you would have made your wrong choice, if you would have picked your Florida beating South Florida pick in October, then there would be no recourse to come back.
There you go.
Yeah, Matt is the commissioner, so he can make these rules. It's stated in the bylaws of the SEC Survivor Series picks that the commissioner has wide range of judgment to do what he thinks is best for the show.
You know, I get to see C-Unit just about every day. He has a special place in my heart, so I feel really.
Thanks, Matt.
There we go.
Is it the left cockle or the right cockle of your heart?
He could tell I meant it.
So I picked Kentucky to beat Toledo. I got Auburn that beat Ball State. Matt had Mississippi State beating Southern Miss, and then he had Arkansas beating Arkansas State. So again, the rules are one team. You pick one team per week. You can't pick any team twice, and you can't pick any jamborees. So I don't. Mississippi State and Alcorn, I think, is the only jamboree this weekend. So there's a lot of games we can pick from, Matt. We got like a minute left in the segment, so figure it out, right?
I'll take the Bluegrass State
over Eastern Michigan.
I'll take
That's a really good choice.
Well, the thing about it is, if they don't win, how do I get back? You know, like who are they going to win to get me back in? But I'll take Kentucky at home against Eastern Michigan.
All right, now I don't know if I have got any real easy ones out there. Mizzou over Louisiana Lafayette, Oklahoma at Temple. Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna have to pick like Oklahoma over Temple, because how dare they refer to Baker Mayfield's mugshot? When they have Bill Cosby as an alumnus. We go into hour number 3 of halftime. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we'll also find out if Brett Dolan knows where the Walmart that we're located today. It's the one on Mall Avenue. Come out and see us. You can't miss the ESPN Experience booth. I mean, it is right there in the middle, right by all the I was going to say cashiers, but it's mostly self-checkout. And hour number 3 of halftime is after this.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Sharp Equipment is thankful for the proud and honorable men and women of our military who sacrifice their lives and their families' emotions for freedom every day. They are forever grateful for their dedication to our country. They pray for our courageous military troops and their families. This salute to our troops is courtesy of Sharp Equipment in Van Buren, Arkansas, where current and prior military personnel receive 10% off every purchase as a small token of their thanks. Sharp Equipment would like to remind everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to the brave.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Heath Roberts right here in the River Valley can switch you over so you can start saving today. Heath and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Heath Roberts, it's easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be in the low to mid-90s. Mainly clear skies, mid-60s overnight. Friday, blue skies, sunshine, a high near 95. And then Saturday, lots of sun, a high in the middle to upper 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
I said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on Halftime. We continue live from the ESPN Experience at Walmart in Fayetteville. It's the Mall Avenue location. If you come out the next hour, we'll be here for halftime, and then we'll pack up and get out. And then John Calipari is here tomorrow from 5 until 6, signing autographs and visiting with some folks, so that should be really cool. We'll be talking with Brett Dolan about 15 minutes from now. Anything you want to get, you can do it at the moment. It's 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And Dudley Dawson with us in hour number 1, and head coach Dave Van Horn of Arkansas Baseball in hour number 2. Missed any of those conversations, they'll all be on the Eastside Liquor podcast, which will be put out anywhere you get your podcasts right about the time when I exit out of this Walmart location today. NFL gets back in action tonight, Matt, on Prime Video. The Commanders and the Packers. Should be a really good game. Micah Parsons had a sack and I think a couple of pressures his first game with Green Bay. And I think the Commanders may look like the most complete team in the NFC East at the time being. But you got a lot of really good divisional matchups that are on the schedule for this weekend. And you have a team that went 0-2, lost their first 2 games in the NFL?
Oh, I don't know if we ever went 0-2. Now, we won 11 games one year. We had Indianapolis. They won our conference all 4 years I was there. But we made the playoffs twice, man. We went 12-4 one year, 10-6 one year, and then 2 years didn't make the playoffs. So, I mean, you win 10-6, 12-4. That's pretty good football on that level.
Tough to come back from an 0-2 start. 1-3.
Well, the percentages are, if you go 0-2, the chances that you make the playoffs are drastically different. But I wonder now, Phil, since they've added another game, if that's changed anything. You know, when it was a 12-game schedule, you go 0-2. There's not enough work. What do they always say? If you're going to be down 28, you might as well be down 28 in the first quarter, so at least you got a chance to come back. 17 games, you still got a chance. And it's a collision sport. There's injuries, all sorts of stuff that goes on.
There are 5 divisional games on Sunday where somebody's going to be 2-0 and then somebody's going to be 0-2.
Nice.
Yeah, you get the Giants and the Cowboys, the Bears at the Lions, Pats and Dolphins in Miami, Browns and Ravens in Baltimore, and, that's 4 of them. And then there's a 5th divisional game where the 2 teams are 1-0, Chargers and Raiders. Bills and Jets are a divisional game. Bills won last week. Jets lost to the Steelers. But, man, it's like if you're any of these teams that's 0-1 and you're playing a divisional team, you lose your 0-2 and you're 2 games behind the team that you just lost to. It's not just about winning your division and everything. It's just kind of making the tournament. But 0-2 is really tough to come back from. And I'm interested in this Browns-Ravens game because this is Joe Flacco's first game back in Baltimore since leaving the Ravens. He's played against them once with the Jets, but he's never been in Baltimore unless he's been the quarterback for the Ravens. And here's Flacco on visiting back in that town.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got to play him a couple years ago, but going back to Baltimore is definitely a little bit different story. It is somewhat surprising, honestly, because I've been going for a decent amount of time now. So, the fact that I haven't had a chance to go back is a little surprising.
Championship Baltimore quarterbacks. This is all time, and that's a football mad city.
Hall of Famer?
Flacco? No, I don't think so. And I mean, look at the numbers and all of that, but you remember when the debate was, is he elite? Is he elite or is he not elite? Well, that ends up becoming the same thing, Hall of Fame or not. I always thought for somebody that had the arm strength and for the things that he did well, he did really well. Could hang in the pocket, could throw a bomb about as good as anybody. And for being a Super Bowl winning quarterback, man, I thought he was elite for a few years there.
Make every single throw. Joe Flacco or Phillip Rivers? If you were to, who do you take? Eli Manning or Joe Flacco? I mean, you're looking at physical tools like what you're talking about. Flacco has more physical gifts, God-given ability than Eli Manning. But Eli was able to win 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. And some of this, I guess, has to do with the team that you're on as well. But, with Flacco, he always had a great defense. Always had a great defense. Yeah. Always had a bit of a running game, too, and playing in a really tough division. And, of course, now he's going up against his former head coach, and John Harbaugh, and here's Harbaugh playing against
In terms of looking back, what an amazing run, and what a era, for the Ravens at the Joe Flacco era. I think, he was in there, and the early part of his career was with Ray and Ed and those guys, and the later part of his career with another set of guys, and he just he's iconic, I think, in Baltimore football history, and so respect that and admire that, and still keep in touch with him, except not this week. And this week, it's not about that for us as a football team. It's about us getting prepared for a good quarterback that knows how to play the game, that's capable of making plays against you, and we're going to have to be at our very best to defend against Joe and the whole offense.
Championship Baltimore quarterbacks all time: Johnny Unitas, Earl Morrall, and Morrall, I think, backed Unitas up in a Super Bowl win. Unitas won 3 NFL championships. Trent Dilfer, who won a Super Bowl his only year as a Baltimore quarterback, and Joe Flacco. You'd put Flacco under Unitas in all-time quarterbacks in Baltimore history. Well, then there's Lamar Jackson, and Jackson hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl yet. But
Multiple MVPs.
Would you take Lamar Jackson over Joe Flacco?
Prime Lamar Jackson, prime Joe Flacco. I think the answer is Lamar Jackson. That doesn't mean that it's a derogatory towards Joe Flacco. I'm a Joe Flacco fan, but what Lamar Jackson? There's not. Phil, I don't think there's 10 quarterbacks to ever play the game in the NFL that can do the things Lamar Jackson can. Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, John Elway. Like, you start kind of looking at guys that can do what Lamar – I don't know that there's that more many that could do what he can do.
I still think they're the best team in the AFC North.
Even though they took an L to Buffalo?
That's just Buffalo's really good.
It's probably a rematch. It's probably going to be the AFC Championship game. I would not be surprised if it's Buffalo versus Baltimore.
I would also have a tough time believing that there may be another football game played throughout the regular season any better than that Sunday night opener with the Bills and the Ravens. Moving along a little bit here. This was you hear this about Mike McDaniel sometimes, hear this about guys that don't look like they've ever played football before. Ben Johnson and the Bears going up against somebody that he coached with, and Dan Campbell, when they were both with Miami.
We have fond memories of back when I was just a young snot-nosed computer punk, as he likes to call it, in Miami. And
that's what Campbell used to call Johnson when they worked together in Miami.
Well, at least he didn't work with Ryan Clark.
Oh, yeah. Ryan would have reminded him that he never played the game and that his opinion doesn't matter while you're sitting on a set like we're sitting on right here.
We all know who's played the game and who hasn't played the game. That's just such a weird I don't know if it's a narcissistic type of thing, but it is. It's such a weird way to go about it,
Well, I can appreciate
Will you let me finish? I was like, oh, my goodness.
You got to throw that into one of our conversations at some point.
I can't believe that ESPN still lets them work there.
Would you let me finish? You can just throw it in at a moment. That goes along with, are you okay? Will you let me finish?
Does he hurt you? Only when I ask him to.
Yeah. I don't know who it is you could try that with. We'll give it a shot tomorrow. I don't know. Oh, man. And then talking about, hey, you got to rematch the Super Bowl. Although that wasn't really much of a match to begin with. Talking about like 28-3 Ole Miss over Arkansas in a quarter last year with 20 minutes. 27-0 Eagles. Remember that was the score.
Oh, you got Philly and Kansas City you're playing?
Philly and Kansas City.
What about when Kansas City goes 0-2 to start this? Is this the year they don't make – because last year they were winning a lot of one-score games. They were kind of limping, but they were winning everything. They might be in trouble this year, man. All of a sudden, they don't make the playoffs this year. Denver's on the come as well.
Well, you're looking ahead for Kansas City, and after the Eagles, they go to New York and the Giants. I'm not too worried about the Giants, but then they get the Ravens in Kansas City. I mean, that's one reason right there why Lamar Jackson's not made a Super Bowl is because of the Chiefs and Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes.
But if I'm looking at it right now this year, I mean, I'm looking at Baltimore as the better of those two teams. At least I think so.
I think top to bottom, Baltimore is. I would put Minnesota's roster better than Kansas City's roster. Buffalo's roster better than Kansas City's roster. I think Kansas City could be in trouble this year.
We'll break here in a moment, and we'll see if Brett Dolan actually did make it into the ESPN experience. You think you want to put odds on this?
5-1, 1-5. We're going to make it. If we try.
He may show up at some point in the middle of the interview. Who knows? Wouldn't that be fun if we're talking to Brett on the phone and then all of a sudden he walks in here and just sits down.
And he's on a Segway.
That's right. And then throws in would you let me finish? I mean, absolutely. I'm trying to talk here for crying out loud and tell you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. They've been doing it for over 75 years and counting, serving our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with the best RV purchasing experience, choosing the right RV, personalized financing, and a top-of-the-line parts and service department at Crabtree RV. You'll find the largest selection available in Arkansas. I know you are working with the absolute best sales and service team, so now's the time to let Crabtree RV get with you to plan big adventures in the future. Find them at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma and at crabtreerv.com. We'll see where Brett Dolan's located. We'll talk to him right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Man, this takes me back to the 2000s.
All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Crazy how it feels tonight. Crazy how you make it all alright. Crush me with the things you do. And I'll do for you anything to.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And Brett Dolan, resident play-by-play man from Touchdown Radio, joining us here on Halftime. And, of course, Razorback Sports Network and Perfect Game and MLB Network. And usually, Brett, I would ask you, where in the world are you? But you're right in front of me right here at the ESPN Experience at Walmart in Fayetteville on Mall Avenue. So I know where you are.
I'm here. It's good to be here. I appreciate the odds, as you guys were describing whether or not I would get here. I was actually in my car when I turned it on, and I heard Phil say, will Brett be able to find Mall Avenue, the first words. Now, they decided to work on the stoplights on two major intersections, which slowed me down a bit, and the one that's working, it's working. It's not changing.
I just thought that maybe is what you called your golf ball. So
could be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were important, Brett, you would have a police escort here for this segment anyway.
Picked up the pace a little bit. I got some cardio in, jogging in from the parking lot just to make sure I'm here.
So Brett is on the call for Arkansas Ole Miss on Touchdown Radio this weekend. I have a sense there may be more yards in the first 20 minutes than there were in the entire Cy-Hawk game that you called last week, which I guess you expected was defensive anyway, but how'd that game go?
Well, yes, it was what we expected. Lower scoring. Thought Iowa had a chance to win at the end. A little tip ball did not help, and a 54-yard field goal pushed the Cyclones to a win. So I'm with you. I think that this could be a real high-scoring game, which will be the counterweight to a 16-13 game. And, I'm just going back and looking at some of these 51-50 and some of these scores we've seen, and not one, not two, but three-ish games that have been like that over the last decade plus. I'm not so sure we couldn't have another one.
Go ahead.
Iowa grad, Iowa fan, you have to call the game down the middle. How much did you have to fake it on that last play with Iowa State winning?
The problem is I got people on my shoulders that are there, like, ready for me to do anything that might be pro-Iowa. So even when I'm giving it a little bit of juice for the Cyclones, they're mocking me and they're having fun with me. And it was not easy. I mean, I had a great weekend back home, but I would tell you what, I don't need to do that game again.
Is Oklahoma for real? Should I buy in? I think every one of their SEC opponents are ranked in the top 25 going forward.
The running game concerns me. I think that would have to be an issue. Mateer makes a lot of good plays. He makes a couple that'll probably leave you scratching your head just a bit. I think they're in a good tier. I don't think they're in that elite tier right now, Matt. And, there's a handful of teams that aren't leaving that elite tier in the SEC, and they're trying to get there. They might be in the next rung, but I think they're going to beat some people.
Two better. Tell me, because I'm a Josh Heupel fan, probably more than others when it comes to calling an offensive game plan. But you're giving me Lane Kiffin and Bobby Petrino this weekend, right? Are there two? Can you just tell? I mean, that's top tier, right? When it comes to offensive play calling in the SEC,
it's pretty good because there's no give. I mean, the one thing about Lane Kiffin, we had a game. I think it was either a year or 2 years ago when they hosted Georgia Tech, and they were leading by 15 points with about 5 minutes to go. Now, where I come from in the Big Ten, you're thinking, give me 3 first downs, and I'm just about going to run this out. And I turned to my analyst and I said, that's not how Lane operates. He's going to throw the – and I didn't get it out of my mouth. And he throws a 60-yard touchdown pass. His defense is back on the field. So this pedal to the metal. The one thing about Bobby, I think this year he's got good skill position players. Lane maybe doesn't have Jackson Dart and others, but he's got good players. So I think the combination of interesting and fun play callers and good special skilled players makes this a real fun fight.
Is it as simple on? So Coach Pittman said which team runs the ball better is going to win this game, and this Arkansas offensive line, to me, the eye test first couple games way better than last year. Is it as simple as Arkansas's offensive line versus Ole Miss's defensive line?
Well, I think to me a couple of things stand out, and that's part of it. But I think can Arkansas break a couple of big plays against a good defense? Now, though, when it gets to talking about line, last year this Ole Miss defense was probably as good as it would
had
come.
They sacked Arkansas 8 times last year.
Well, they had 50-plus for the season.
Yeah.
They had their tackles for a loss were incredible. They were the number 2 scoring defense. They were the number 2 total defense. They lose a lot of players. They have some talent. The one thing watching that Kentucky game is Kentucky is not a good offensive team. They ran for about 4.6 yards per carry against Ole Miss. If Arkansas can run for 4.5, 5 yards a carry, I don't see them losing this game.
I could see, though, that, Ole Miss was game planning differently for Kentucky because they're a different style team. And you're okay with running into the line of scrimmage, a little bit more often than I think you would here in this game just because even Ole Miss is probably at least to expect the Hogs are going to score some points against them. This is a dangerous offense.
Right. And, I think we have a better idea where Arkansas's offense is at. I still don't know if I'm completely on board, only in the sense we've seen Talon and others in Washington and Omega Blake just running by people. Can they run by some SEC players? I think they can, but clearly they were out racing or just outclassing Arkansas State and A&M in that first game. It's a different weight class, so to speak. I think it translates. I think it carries over. If it does, though, the infrastructure is set up for Arkansas to take another step forward. And I don't mean just in the rankings. I mean winning a game on the road against a 9-win-ish team, a 10-win team. The infrastructure is there. If they can get the good quarterback play, if the offensive line works, if they can run the ball, I think they've got a good chance.
I just look at 3 teams on the schedule that Arkansas absolutely has to beat. And maybe in terms of just showing that your program's better and not just the context of this season. But it's the M schools, and you always talk about this. Arkansas should be a better football program than Mississippi State, and they are right now. Should be a better football program than Missouri, but they're not. Should be at least even, if not better, than Ole Miss. Historically, they have been, and right now Ole Miss is ahead. And then add on all the transfers that they've gotten over to that program, in which, like Lane was talking on the teleconference yesterday, I don't know if he was almost like patting Arkansas on the head the way he said it. Yeah, when we get some guys from certain programs, we can tell that they're really coached well, so we appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Coach. Really appreciated that.
And yet Kudus hasn't played well. He had a holding penalty that negated a touchdown, and I don't know if he's still working his way back off some injuries. I'm with you. Missouri's program has been on the rise. Ole Miss has been consistent. I think for Lane this year, this establishes whether this is a legitimate top 15 program every year. You lose the caliber of play, a quarterback who set every record in their program's history. If you can continue to win, losing all of that, your program's in a pretty good place. And I know they feel like they should win this game. There were a couple of people in my orbit from Ole Miss that, a month ago, 2 months ago, they were more concerned with one of their non-conference games than they were this one. And when you win with 60-some points last year, in your mind, you've chalked this up as a win. Now, can Arkansas deliver a couple of early punches to take away some of that confidence? Can they instill a little bit of doubt? But I bet you if you pulled the Rebels a month ago, they were already putting W in their mind mentally for this game.
I agree with you. I think a lot of people outside of the state of Arkansas aren't giving Arkansas a chance. You brought up quarterbacks. What do you know about the backup quarterback, if he's going to play? Is Austin Simmons that healthy? He won 2 back-to-back, was it Division II national championship?
Starter in one of them.
So he's a winner, had a 1,000-yard rushing season at that level. Advantage Arkansas, or the fact is that there's something unknown about it if the backup quarterback
No,
comes
I
in?
think it's advantage Arkansas, and I think in a big way. There were times when Simmons went down, they went to running the Wildcat at the end of that Kentucky game. To me, that tells me that, they just want to get first downs. They're not concerned about passing. They don't know if they can pass. I think it's clearly advantage Arkansas if they do not have the ability for Simmons to play. Now, Lane said he was ready to go back in and play even at the end of the Kentucky game. We'll see. This kid's fascinating, though, in Simmons. I mean, he reclassified from 23 to 25, 19 years old. He's already graduated. He's pursuing a master's baseball player.
Yeah.
I mean, 19 years old to have your degree, to come into college 2 years early to play football. There's a lot that I'm just curious to see how his career trajectory takes place. He had a couple of bad picks that weren't great in that game earlier this year. I think it was Georgia State. But obviously he's been waiting behind Jackson Dart. He's been waiting for his chance. If he plays, he's healthy. That gives them a tremendous chance to win. If he's hobbled, if he doesn't play, I do think that's advantage Arkansas.
Well, life wasn't always the smoothest for Doogie Howser, MD, either. He's got a little bit of Doogie Howser in it. What is it with Ole Miss and Touchdown Radio? I would think that Gino Torretta is the owner of Touchdown Radio, for Heisman-winning quarterback at Miami. You got Miami on the schedule twice. You got Ole Miss on the schedule 3 times, including this game, LSU, and then going to Georgia. I don't know if that means Gino's got some expectations for the Rebels.
He might. I know I'm already kind of looking to that LSU game. I think that's going to be epic, especially if Ole Miss wins. And then it's always fun to go to Georgia because they're one of those teams, again, that doesn't change in that tier that they're in. One of the top 3 in the conference or top 8 or 9 in the country. So I know we always enjoy going to the Grove. I like night games there. I think it's even more special, much like going to LSU when you have a night game. I just think it feels a little bit different from the fans aspect inside the stadium. But this was probably one of those games, again, 2 months ago, you thought, well, it'll be interesting, it'll be okay. I think it's going to be one of the better ones, at least from an entertainment value, in the country this weekend.
Mike Elko, Texas A&M Aggies headed to South Bend, the Fighting Irish, freshman quarterback making his second start. Everybody I talked to is not giving A&M a chance. Are you giving A&M a chance, or is Notre Dame just that good of a team?
I'm giving them a chance. I think they could win. If Notre Dame loses this game, even with this expanded playoff, I don't see the path back because the caliber of teams on their schedule doesn't give them an opportunity.
I think they'd have to
keep
run
chipping
the
away.
chute if they lose.
I do too. I think you're right. It just has that feel that they're not going to be able to get enough quality wins. I would still pick Notre Dame. I do give A&M some credit, or at least an opportunity. Marcel Reed really didn't play in that game last year. It was Wigman who was the quarterback then. So, the fun part about the window we're in, that's a night game. LSU's a night game. Arkansas, Ole Miss, a night game. So if you're sitting on your couch and you're flipping around, or you got multiple TVs, you've got some great options.
Look at all the notes here, man.
I know. I was like, he's prepared, but we talked to him. We can ask him anything.
These are like real handwritten.
Yeah, I got handwritten notes.
Ask him anything.
You're going behind the curtain, so to speak. My Tuesdays and Wednesdays, even Thursdays, are not pretty. I had a volleyball game Tuesday, so I'm behind. I have to compile all of this into some charts and notes, and it's not always pretty how I make the sausage.
Is there a more fitting name for an offensive tackle than Diego Pounds, the left tackle for Ole Miss?
I like that. That's a good one.
He's the second heaviest player on their offense.
I mean, it's not as good as the nickname Judas Kudus, but nonetheless, Diego Pounds is fun.
I kind of feel for Kudus a little bit with all of this, but he had to expect it would happen. I mean, he knew he was transferring to.
At least he's not coming back to Fayetteville. At least he gets Arkansas at home. What did we talk about? Joe Flacco finally going back to Baltimore to play. I guess there's another SEC game I want to ask you about, Florida LSU, and maybe I shouldn't ask you about it, but is that coach there at Florida, does he make it through this little stretch? What if Florida wins? What if they knock – I mean, that would be probably the biggest upset of the year. Would that be enough just to kind of ride the ship if they go down to Death Valley and beat LSU?
It would certainly help. And I'm with you, Matt. I think what we did last year is we assumed that Florida was done, and they had a nice finish to their season. Sam talks about this every year. Arkansas wins the national championship for the hardest schedule at the beginning of the year. When you look at Florida's schedule, find me a couple of easy wins. I think they play 3 top 8 teams in a row. I don't know how, even if you are an above-average team, if you would be an 8 to 9 win team in the ACC.
You're right. LSU, Miami, Texas A&M.
I mean,
that's their next 4 games.
With those 4 games in a row? And, you always talk about going week to week. I don't know how you could do anything but rally the troops and try and focus on one game at a time because you can't look ahead with that schedule. The one thing I noticed about Florida, Lagway, I think he's talented. He made a lot of mistakes. And I don't know, Matt, if this comes from not being on the practice field, not getting some spring practice. missing open receivers, trying for deep balls, forcing balls, trying to make a play. And when you do that, not only are you not getting first downs or long drives, you're playing into punts and turnovers and interceptions. He can't do that against some of these teams, or they will not win.
Grade me Arch Manning. I think we've been pretty down to earth so far the entire season. Everybody kind of got above themselves or ahead of themselves, I think. I think Arch is fine. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's playing on a very talented team. Is he a Heisman Trophy winner? No. But what are your thoughts? Kind of give me your grade on Arch Manning so far.
For the time being, I'm still going to say he's fine. I have no issues. I think at the end of the year, his numbers are going to be good, in part because he's got a good line. He's got a good team. I think the guy's got a good skill set. I think Ohio State's defense and Matt Patricia are going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of guys. Now, they had all offseason to prepare for that. It didn't go well. But I think he's going to be fine. I don't have any issues with Arch right now.
So if you've printed all the paper that you have. If you need any more supplies for the office, because obviously you got a lot to write with all these games coming up here at Walmart, Brett. I mean, you can do this like a 2-for-1. You didn't just come here to do radio, right?
Well, no, but I had to see your set. I mean, you've been talking about this for 2 weeks.
This thing's pretty cool.
You guys have taken a nice TV set and you've muddied it up with your radio ways, with your Doritos.
That's true.
And your clipboards and your yellow tablets. But
I'd never even thought about that. You know, one thing you never see on SportsCenter is a cluttered desk.
Yes, or a yellow notepad.
Well, you'll see they'll have the paperweights when they're outside. I guess it's not SportsCenter. It's more of the pregame show, but then you'll see the wind going.
But it doesn't ever look like, my backpack threw up on the table, which is what it looks like here.
Bob Walker for a midweek game when Phil's racing from a show to come.
All we now need is Bubba's burger on the wall
and a baseball bat,
dead fly in a sarcophagus.
I didn't even see your lunch over here, and the Pringles can, and the duct tape, and the extra water.
I got to hide just a little bit. See, this is utter proof, Brett. You know this for a fact because you know me well enough. I am not. I am radio through and through. I do not belong on television.
You're a radio guy. There's no doubt.
Because I'm just messy enough. Brett, appreciate you hustling over here. I guess I'll see you on your way out through the checkout, okay?
That's right. And I'll see you Saturday in Oxford.
Looking forward to it. What time you guys on the air?
5 minutes before kickoff. It's the beautiful thing. There is no pregame show. Phil wouldn't like it.
Quickest pregame. I'll be doing 3 hours of pregame while you get to do 5 minutes.
The only thing that's quicker than our pregame is our postgame when we're racing to the car to beat the traffic.
Yeah, the postgame show on Touchdown Radio is final score, Arkansas 40, Ole Miss 38.
And you hear the elevator ding.
Yeah, you do. We're the coaches, then Touchdown Radio, going down the elevator after a game.
Yeah, you beat the coaches. They actually get down there before the coaches do. That's Brett Dolan will be with us next Thursday, and I don't think you'll be with us because we'll be in Summit, Arkansas. If you can make it to Allen's Grocery for that, you can join us there.
Cool
We'll just call you. Let's come back in a moment for the home stretch of halftime here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Man, boy, I swear to God. Boy, I got to rush every time you touch that ball.
This is halftime. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find him at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give him a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Where are you going? It's the long face. Pull 'em down, don't hide away. Like an ocean that you can't see, but you can smell, and the sound of waves crash down. I am no Superman. I have no reasons for you. I am no hero, oh, that's for sure. But I do know one thing: where you are is where I belong.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You know, Marie Antoinette had one of the most famous quotes of all human history with "Let them eat cake." May I introduce NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
There's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free. I mean, this is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that is advertising based, that consumers can consume.
He was asked the question about basketball fans who can't afford streaming services. That was his answer. It's all right. You can watch highlights. That's good enough, isn't it?
Well, it sounds like he might be more out of touch than somebody else you called out of touch earlier this week.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. That is a very powerful sports league commissioner basically telling people who don't have enough money to be able to access his league's games to eat cake.
Well, the NBA, I guess, are they second? Is it NFL, NBA, then MLB, or is MLB ahead of NBA? I don't know. You know, to the younger kids, what are they? Who are they trying to market to? So I saw this bid on Mark Cuban before he was forced out by whoever traded Luka. But he said the NBA is a Twitter-driven league, meaning I don't know if it's ADD or whatever you want to call it, but they take it in 17 to 45-second increments. That's how the kids, everybody takes the NBA. They don't sit down and watch a game.
You know, and I think you might be right about that. It's just, if you're going to be a fan of a sport, aren't you going to watch the game?
No, same. I want to watch. I don't want to watch. I watch the highlight show, but I want to watch the game from start to finish. 100%.
I like highlights just as much as anybody else. But if you want to be a fan of your team, well, you want to be able to watch those games. I guess you can listen to them and not just have to access highlights or anything like that. But this also highlights the idea that if you can't afford, and there's a lot of people out there who can't, if you can't afford a streaming service or cable or whatnot, I mean, you know, there's just few over the air network games now. You have to be able to spend whatever disposable income, if you have it, and you want to watch these games, on being able to actually watch these games. You know, it is free to be able to access Twitter, TikTok, and all of that. It's just, I don't. You know, and growing up in the 80s, you know, we're here at the ESPN Sports Center desk. You did consume games, or not games, but the sport through the highlight show. And that's when the highlights were a brand new thing. You know, they did the George Michael Sports Machine and all that, but I never watched that. And it was ESPN. It was Sports Center. You know, otherwise you'd get 5-minute sports report on the local sports and maybe some highlights of other games.
A lot of regional stuff, yeah.
That's where it all started. That's where the Silver talking about the ability to follow a sport just through the highlights. It all started with ESPN Sports Center. You know, and even back then, you couldn't watch a ton of games anyway on over-the-air television. I do think there were more games on over-the-air TV then than there are now by far. You know, you really don't find a lot of Major League Baseball games over the air. You get some on Fox, but just very rarely, once a week if that. You know, the NFL is one of the only ones that still does this on a routine basis. You can't follow the NHL like that. What is the NBA on NBC? I think that's the
TNT,
only.
I thought was kind of the big thing they had with Charles and Shaq and Ernie Johnson.
But NBC is the only over-the-air network.
Yeah, you're right. That you got to pay to get TNT. Yeah.
So you can eat cake and watch highlights instead. And highlights are fun. I mean, you think of what a basketball game is. It's somebody walking a ball up the court sometimes. I mean, you can get full court basketball going and fast breaks and everything. But, you know, the idea of watching a sport in 6 to 7 second increments, well, sometimes it feels like that's what the game is. But that doesn't really give you an idea of the flow or I think the personality of the teams. It's just when you hear somebody say that, you know, it does come off as somebody that's very much out of touch. Hey, I'll say Manfred comes across as being out of touch a lot. Silver has too. You know, I think Roger Goodell has at times. Maybe it has something to do about, you know, these men are also worth millions of dollars. Just like the owners are worth billions, well, I think the commissioners are not far off from them.
The owners pay the commissioner. That's right. I thought LeBron James was the commissioner.
He writes the script.
I must be wrong.
Is he writing the script? That must be what it is. Is there a script to the NBA just like there is the NFL? There has to be. There must be a script for college football too. If you're gonna get the script in the NFL, you've probably gotten a script in college football as well.
You know, I still think if Notre Dame wins 10 games, they'll make it in. But I think A&M, I think that's going to be a tricky game for them. That Georgia-Tennessee game, don't you think Tennessee's due? Like, I know, what Dudley say, Georgia's beat Tennessee 8 straight times?
Yeah.
Tennessee could be due.
Hey, they just ended a long losing streak against Alabama last year.
Man, how cool is that? Everybody gets to play Alabama but Arkansas after they lose the GOAT. It's I really think, and we didn't get into this, Brett, maybe we'll get into it with him next week. If Wisconsin finds a way to beat Alabama loses a couple more, Saban could be the head football coach at Alabama before the year's over with.
Well, look at what's coming up for Alabama after this Wisconsin game. They have a bye, off week, at Georgia, then Vanderbilt.
Vandy got him last year.
Then they go to Mizzou, and then it's Tennessee and Tuscaloosa. Again, I haven't watched I haven't watched any of Alabama. Even the Florida State-Alabama game was during the Arkansas-Alabama A&M game, so I couldn't get my eyes on that. But it's kind of crazy looking at the schedule here for Alabama and the idea of what you're talking about. Now, I don't think they're going to lose to Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin is very good under Luke Fickell, but I could certainly see them losing to Georgia in Athens. And Vanderbilt 2 years in a row.
They'll beat
Come
Vandy
on
at home.
now, right?
They'll beat Vandy at home. Yeah. If they lose to Vandy at home,
it's over.
He doesn't make it to another game.
He doesn't even make it off the field.
I think so. Yeah.
They lose to Vandy 2 years in a row. He doesn't make it off the field, and at that point, then Saban, then everybody in Tuscaloosa, everybody in college football, at once, at the very same time, in unison, turns and looks at Nick Saban.
Greg McElroy's the first one.
He was the first one to at least say it was going to happen. Let's get to some texts here on the Lewis Automotive text line. Rex reminds us, that's right, in the 70s, Monday Night Football halftime was where you watched your NFL highlights.
80s still did NBA on tape delay in the 80s. You were still watching a finals game it wasn't prime time till Jordan, and it started happening in the 90s where it was must watch.
But I think like this, what Rex is saying here is that it was Howard Cosell would do the highlight, just how you remember Chris Berman. It always the fastest 3 minutes in sports, and he would do. Basically, it was like all the NFL highlights. You get one highlight per game over a 3-minute stretch, and Cosell pretty much did that too. And I think he did that live. It wasn't taped. He would just do it live, watching the television screen at halftime. And that might be the first place where you had like a highlight show in the 70s on Monday Night Football. And now that's how you're going to watch the NBA, according to Adam Silver. Let's break. Before we do take that break and wrap things up on halftime, I want to remind you about 46 Steakhouse. 46 Steakhouse features the largest, most massive, and most tasty ribeye that you'll ever have. 46 ounces. It's hand-cut. This ribeye also is joined on the menu by juicy chicken, hand-breaded catfish, and much, much more. And every meal at 46 Steakhouse comes with famous hot-made rolls and honey butter that you're never going to stop talking about. They are ready to make your family feel right at home. 46 Steakhouse, 108 Highway 71 next to Harps in Alma. It's where every meal is a masterpiece. After the quick break, we'll wrap up halftime at the ESPN Experience at Walmart on Mall Avenue in Fayetteville.
Hey, Phil, I want to talk a little Arkansas baseball because that is my passion. And trust me, I enjoy listening to you on the radio during games. I really do.
This is halftime.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're hiding your smile because of chipped, stained, or uneven teeth, or you feel like your smile doesn't reflect how you feel inside, our dental team is here to help. We offer a variety of cosmetic and restorative dental services, from custom veneers to full mouth rehabilitation. We take pride in combining clinical precision with an artistic eye to help you feel confident and comfortable every step of the way. It's time to love your smile again. Call 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com to set up your consultation. Let's create the smile you've always wanted.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Jelco Outdoors Fall Hunting Sale is going on now through Saturday. Shotguns starting at $150. AR rifles as low as $399.99. Save 10% off on all ammo gun cases starting at $14.99. Higdon duck decoys over 50% off. Rhino corn feeders $299.99. Select bows and crossbows $300 to $500 off on brands like Hoyt, Elite, Bowtech, and Raven. Don't miss the big fall hunting sale this week at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats live from the stands, and we've got a special update. Sources confirm fans using the Vivid Seats app are racking up rewards with every ticket and doing it fast. With an unbeatable lineup of seats and perks that go the distance, why use any other app for game day? Don't fumble this season. Grab your tickets through Vivid Seats, download their app, earn rewards, and as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, get $20 off your first $200 in-app purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
My soul, before I'm old. Oh, brother of mine, please don't forget me if I go. Bartender, please, fill my glass for me. With the wine you gave Jesus that set him free after 3 days in the ground.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Before we wrap things up on halftime, need to remind you about Valley Family Dental, still at the entrance to Riley Farm, used to be known as Riley Farm Dental, and provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family, general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Doctors Sparkman, Farmer, and Dr. Blaine Van Nice working to give all their patients better life, better smile. You'll feel much more confident and comfortable every single time at Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crowns as well at 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Tell them you heard about them on ESPN Radio. You get $300 off of a snore guard. Well, we wrap things up here on halftime at the ESPN Experience at Walmart. I think
How
this
cool
may be
is this?
I think it's our last time here,
Oh,
Matt.
my goodness, that was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Bummer.
at least we get to do another show tomorrow, though.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll be at Jelco Outdoors, and I'll be on my way towards Tupelo. And then I think Ruskin and Zach may be here next week.
Well, they're the better show. They have. You rather.
Well, they're the
have
TV guys.
Yeah, you rather have them.
They're the ones that know what it's like to hold a television camera, be on TV, and wear pajama bottoms under this this kind of.
The only
here.
reason I wouldn't date either one of them is because they're too good looking. You know, it's
you and I are radio guys. We
yeah,
don't belong.
Yeah,
You know,
not
people
at all.
on television with good-looking faces and nice hairdos. That's the thing. You're gonna be on TV. You either have to be completely 100% bald, or you got to have the nicest hair possible. And I don't have either of those. Literally don't have either of those. By the time we get tomorrow.
Their football game tonight, NFL game tonight?
Yeah, Commanders and Packers.
Oh, There's your fantasy. There's your flag football guy, Jaden Daniels. That's
sure.
That's who you want as the flag football quarterback for the Olympics. There you go.
Yeah, you can't be a Joe Flacco type quarterback as a flag football guy, can you?
No, but Jaden Daniels could get it done.
A little wiggle in the hips
Maybe
just to break a tackle.
You would think Manziel might come back in. Is he young enough still? He's not 30 yet. You would think he could do it.
Maybe Tarkenton can still run around a little bit. He'd have been a great flag football quarterback.
Joe Namath,
Heck,
Arch Manning.
I think you might have been pretty good at flag football. I played flag football in college at intramurals, and it was a good thing, too, because I do not ever need to get hit.
If it would have been 20 years ago, then, yeah, I'd go do it. But, nah, golf court living for me, man.
Rajon Rondo.
Rajon!
Hall of Fame flag football quarterback. Can't wait to watch it in the Olympics.
No chance. No chance he's the quarterback. We won't win if he – I love Rajon, but no chance.
What about Jalen Rose? He could be then instead. Get a different point guard that you love.
You're too old. I'm telling you, you got to be in your 20s.
Great stuff today. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will have all the highlights from Dudley Dawson, Dave Van Horn, and Brett Dolan, and anything else that C-Unit feels like throwing in there.
Get your UNLV guy.
Sluka?
Sluka! That's why he did it. Yeah.
I guess he's at James Madison now. That's right. Ruskin and Zach are coming up, and we are back on the air tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. And, again, Matt will be at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. I will not be there. So for Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening to Halftime today, and get up, get out, and get better.